You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Oh, it's opening day in Major League Baseball. What a day, actually. I think I saw someone say 18 NBA and NHL games. I'm sure those will be really highly tuned into. But then there's opening day in Major League Baseball with many of the teams playing. And then, of course, the Sweet 16. So you know what? It's a great place to be. At String Sports Brewery, they've got a bunch of TVs, and that's where we are today. Brent Martineau, along with Austen Lane, back in the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network studios. Jason Hamby, a little shout-out to Nick, a little shout-out to Steve Sesnick, who's actually in Milwaukee on vacation and had to fix everything the last couple of days. I don't want to talk about it, Austin. I'm not even going to get into it. 10:21, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today, but I don't want to talk about the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it either. Next topic.
Okay.
Baseball's here.
Now we move on.
Baseball's here.
Baseball is here. Are you excited?
Listen, I'm going to be excited until I'm not excited, and that revolves around the Milwaukee Brewers. If the Milwaukee Brewers are in contention, if they're winning, if they're at least in third place, trying to make a push for another divisional title, then yeah, I'm all in. And I'll give you all the stats. I'll give you all the players around the league and everything. If the Brewers come out the gate and go 2-8 or 2-9, then have fun talking baseball by yourself.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's a long season, remember that. And we'll get into some of our predictions and picks throughout the day today up until 1 o'clock. We've got Shock Your Mock coming up at 11. We're going fishing at 11:30. We've got Disney on Ice here as well here at String Sports Brewery in the next few minutes. We've got football. We've got LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. I mean, what is going on there? Austin, I'm not a big media fight guy, or Stephen A. is doing so much of this, in my opinion, just to get the clicks and everything. It's a smart move. That's why he makes $20 million a year. But it's like, I've always been a big believer that it's not about you. And I think you would attest for this. Like, it was uncomfortable last year being in the middle of even the Doug Peterson press conferences for me, like with all that stuff happening. Not for Stephen A., man. He wants to put himself right in the middle of it. And apparently him and LeBron and Casey brought it up yesterday on the show. I didn't even realize that's why he probably did the interview with McAfee. And the interview was kind of fascinating, right? From Bronny to Jordan to Windhorse to other things. But wild deal. It's really like the big story over the last 24, 36 hours in the sports world. Yeah,
I mean, you talk about LeBron James. You talk about one of the most polarizing figures in all professional sports. You talk about Stephen A. Smith. You talk about one of the, and I say this, in quotations, one of the biggest entertainers in terms of sports media in the world as well. So when you have an opportunity to have the household name like LeBron James and you're Stephen A. Smith, where you capitalize off of reactions and you capitalize off of storylines, whether they're real or contrived, it's almost like the perfect storm, right? And then this all started because Stephen A. Smith had a couple of things to say about Bronny. Obviously, LeBron being a father took offense to that. They saw each other at a basketball game. LeBron kind of stepped to Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith said if he stepped to him, he would swing on him. And then, after that, which kind of got misconstrued and kind of edited, Stephen A. Smith said he'd probably get his butt whooped by LeBron James. And Stephen A. Smith, you're absolutely right. But, that went back and forth then with LeBron posting the video of Stephen A. Smith hitting, mitts with his boxing gloves and everything, and just back and forth. So, listen, man, this is a situation where you have an athlete who's fed up with a certain member of the media, and you have a member of the media whose specialty is getting reactions, getting rises out of people, and making it about himself.
Yeah, and I can't imagine you're a big fan. Do you think he's losing a little bit of luster in this? And by the way, he's had moments before where you kind of would ask this question, but do you risk going over the edge if you're Stephen A. about things like this, especially trying to tackle, not literally, LeBron James and how big of an icon he is in the sports world?
Nope. Not at all, just because this is the way that the media is now, and this is the way that social media is, and you have to cater to your audience. So the more that back and forth that Stephen A. can get with LeBron James, the better. Like, do I agree with it? Absolutely not. But, this is the way of the world. I'm not naive to it, right? If you're a journalist, if you're trying to make it to, the ESPN or, the elite, these are things that I feel like you got to encounter sometimes. So I don't think it's over the line. I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't be doing any of this. Yeah, for sure. You know how I operate. But I think for Stephen A. Smith, is it over the line? No, this is what he does. His specialty.
Hey, just a quick. I won't go too long on this, but there was some interesting stuff on like Michael Jordan. Did you see the LeBron stuff on Jordan and how he related it to like the Kobe stuff while they were playing, but after his career? And I think he put it. He had a cool phrase. It was like, "There's competitive friction when you're still playing." And not that Michael's still playing, but obviously he's chasing down all Michael's records. Obviously, a ton of respect for him. I thought that was pretty fascinating to hear him say it like that, like pretty open and honest about there's really no relationship right there. But he said the same was with Kobe until he retired. Then there was more of a relationship, but competitive friction. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's the obvious point, though, right? Because as LeBron keeps breaking these records and he keeps playing and he keeps performing, you're going to have the old heads that always remember Jordan, and then you're going to have the new school generations that that grew up with LeBron and kind of like their own GOAT, if you will. And I think once LeBron is done, then you can kind of just cast everything aside and say, yeah, man, they were both really great players. But for whatever reason, and once again, this isn't everybody, but I feel like a majority of NBA fans, when there's still an active player going and trying to chase records and everything, it is then your goal to try to compare that said active player to arguably the best player of all time. Not sure why that happens, just the way that it is. Like we do it now with Mahomes and Tom Brady. Like Mahomes is chasing Brady. Who's going to be the GOAT? Like, this happens in every single sport because, like, we love ranking things. We love power ranking things. We love the preseason rankings. Like, we live in a society that we got to rank everything, and we got to put a number next to it. So even when it talks about just athletes in general, like, who's the best ever? It just can't be, well, he's the best of the generation. Like, he grew up in a different time. He was inspiration, all this stuff. And all it's got to be like, yeah, but, like, if you played in this generation, how, like, it just goes back and forth. So, I do agree with LeBron. Once LeBron's done playing, hopefully we can kind of put the bias aside and appreciate both athletes. But right now, you got to pick one.
Yeah, you do have to pick one, at least for the time being, and that's okay. Competitive friction. One last one on this front. Man, I felt like, no, it wasn't really a stray, but it was a little bit of a shot at Windhorst. And what came out of that a little bit is like the angst and kind of, I don't know, like venom, if you will. Some of the headliney stuff from LeBron's interview with McAfee about the media. I didn't realize he was so disengaged with the media or so mad at the media or feels like frustrated with the media, whatever that was. And even on the Windhorst front, the story about Windhorst is that he had covered him so much. I think that's how he got his rise to fame with ESPN. Now, LeBron kind of took a shot saying, hey, yeah, he's like best friends with me. I heard him say, like, I've never heard him say that, but maybe there was something along the way. I don't watch a lot of Windhorst and NBA coverage, but I don't know. That was kind of like, all right, LeBron. I'm a big LeBron guy. Like, I'm a big LeBron fan. I think he carries himself well. I kind of thought that was a little bit of an unnecessary shot while he's taking shots at everything else on ESPN and the media and everyone. I felt like that was a little bit of a surprising right hook to that guy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, LeBron feels a certain type of way about it. I just feel like LeBron at this point, I mean, he's obviously on the tail end of his career, right? So, like, I'm not saying, like, he's going, like, rogue and he's, like, doing all these, but I just think, like, he's going to speak his mind now, right? Like, he's got nothing to lose at this point, right? Because he doesn't have to deal with the media for the next couple of years. Like, he's kind of on his victory lap, if you will. So, I feel like if he wants to burn some bridges, so be it. I don't know, man. Like, to me, that LeBron James comment, whether it's true or not, where he said it was like their best friends, I didn't mind it so much just because I do feel like it was stemmed with there's some story behind it, right? He wouldn't just go out of his way being LeBron James and say it if there wasn't some truth to the matter. So I really didn't mind it because I think sometimes in media, journalists, and once again, I say this in quotations because there's all types of journalists now, right? But I think sometimes journalists, they do get comfortable and they do maybe say things that are out of line sometimes just to try to get those clicks or to try to be like, yeah, we're friends. It's all good. I can say whatever I want. Like, nah, man, that's not usually the case. And you shouldn't have so much confidence in doing so. So I think, LeBron just called somebody out. Once again, I'm not sure how much truth is behind it, but I didn't think it was like a bad look or anything.
Yeah, it's interesting how many. I think it's a reminder in the at least to me. And I admit this sometimes with the NFL. Like I say it all the time, how big it is. But I think a lot of people have kind of ridden the coattails of a guy like LeBron James to success, right? And almost he kind of lifts a lot of other, and that includes the media, because you got to cover him. He's a superstar, but he's not alone in that. I mean, that's part of being a superstar. There's a little relationship that goes on there. Like if you're going to be a superstar, you need the media to kind of boost it out there, or you're not really a big name. And so there's that give and take that comes with it.
Yeah, but see, like I think with LeBron though, like he's such like. He's such a unicorn. And listen, he has his own media stuff he does. Like he has his own talk shows and everything. And yeah, now he does. And like this to me is what I feel like was the good thing but bad thing about social media was when social media became like at the forefront, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, athletes started to really speak their minds more and showcase their personality more. And I think tell stories of who they are more. And when they did that maybe hurt the, legitimacy. It hurt just like the media and the perception of like, well, do we really need to be asked these questions? Do we really need the cameras in front of us if we can just tell our own stories? So then I think in retrospect, like in response, the media goes, okay, well, we got to push the envelope a little more. Sometimes maybe we have to go out of our lane and bring up some controversy or bring up some things. And not everybody, but some people need to do this to try to get interactions, because you have more and more athletes now with podcasts. You have more and more athletes who are willing to engage with fans on social media, and their stories are being told. It used to be back in the day, the purpose of the media was to get an athlete's personality across. It was to tell the athlete's story. The athlete can do that themselves now. So the media had to pivot, and now it's almost like, all right, let's drum up a little controversy when we can.
It's a good point. I mean, we could probably go a long time on that topic, right? I mean, it's a fascinating one, but it's kind of a chicken and egg thing too. You had to get to this place, and the social media thing without all the coverage, without all the other things, but that relationship is different. And I actually have a lot of respect for that. Like guys doing their own thing now. Like I've been a big fan of the Players Tribune. I think it's a pretty smart move by players to be able to control the message, the narrative, tell the story in their own light, forget about having to do a favor for somebody or give it to someone else. Like I think that's a part of it. But also, I will say this, Pat McAfee having LeBron on and everybody talking about LeBron for the last 24 hours, if LeBron's just pushing that out there himself, I'm not sure it's as big, because McAfee has him on, and McAfee has a footprint as well that's huge right now, too. So, sure, he uses that media to be able to push it out there to other folks, So it's not just the one thing that the issue with everybody controlling their own thing, it becomes state media type thing, right? Like the Jaguars.com does a great job, right? They do a lot of stuff, but it all comes from their perspective. If you didn't have other people in town talking about the Jaguars, you wouldn't have as much friction and content and other things that we had the last couple of months at the end of last season, because they're sure as hell not going to say that stuff. So, you do have to have that counterbalance. And that counterbalance, by the way, does help grow brands and everything else, is my point. But it's kind of it's a good little journalism 101 class, maybe.
No, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, you start to perform. I think LeBron's still going to be a big name regardless if he goes on Pat McAfee or if he goes on Stephen A. Smith's show, but just because as long as he's still putting up points, as long as he's still willing the Lakers to try to win another championship, like he's going to be in the spotlight. Like he's going to be in the conversation just because the resume is going to say so.
All right, hey, real quick, another topic, and then we're going to get a little quick conversation with Disney on Ice in town this weekend. But Sweet 16 tonight, Florida Gators, Maryland. How should Florida Gator fans feel tonight about this matchup with the Maryland Terps, who seemingly are like relevant for the first time in a long time, but have a good basketball team as a 4 seed?
Yeah, they got a great basketball team. Have we figured out the rumors with the coach going to Villanova true for Maryland?
Man, there's been so much flying around, and I don't know what to see because I'm not like in the weeds on it. And if it doesn't come from somebody like a Jeff Goodman or Field of 68 or those folks that cover it all the time, and the reason I say that is I saw Richard Pitino to Villanova, and then he ended up at Xavier, I think he did, right? So there's been a lot of different rumors, and I'm not sure, but I did see that as well, Austin. I'm not sure how much of that is in the background, but there's obviously been a lot of stuff in front of a microphone with Kevin Willard this week, and you do wonder how much of a distraction that is for Maryland.
And I guess this is my thing, right, where even if it's not true, if I know about it, if you know about it, if the world knows about it, guess what? The players in that locker room from Maryland know about it, right? So then you have to ask yourself, well, how is that going to affect their play? Like, could that be a distraction? Will they play harder in spite of like the rumors? Or are they all going to be like, hey, is our coach going to leave us or not? I mean, that can be a pretty big thing. So I think with that lingering, it could affect Maryland a little bit. But, I mean, listen, Maryland's a fun team to watch. Derek Queen's an absolute star. You know, I think he's the youngest guy that was in the tournament this year. And he acts like it, man. Like, you see him on the court, and it's like he's this juggernaut of a human being. And then they interview him after, you know, and he's like, obviously hits the game winner, and he's pumping his chest. I'm like, this is a man. And then, you know, they interview him after the game, and sounds like Arthur. Like, sounds like he's like, you know, 10 years old, man. So it's kind of a little trippy, but a really fun team to watch. Obviously, we talk about, you know, big men, though, and trying to stop it. Florida, I think, has the dogs to be able to do that as well. So can they neutralize Derek Queen, you know, with some of their bigger guys down low? We'll see, but I hope it's going to be a great game. I just think, like, all the distractions with Willard right now, I hope it doesn't affect Maryland because obviously I want to see a great game.
You said that it's funny too because he even said on the podium. I think this is what you're kind of laughing about a little bit is that he said, "Hey, why do you trust Coach?" Well, he paid us.
Yeah.
That's a good reason to trust him. But he does remind you a little bit of the NC State story last year, right? A little bit of that kind of becomes like now maybe a player to watch and a fan favorite and everything else. So we'll see how that manifests. One thing about Florida, real quick. They really, in my opinion, they just haven't played great basketball yet. So when you can win, survive the weekend, and then advance to this stage, and you really haven't played your best yet, that's a good sign to me because we know how good they can be. And so they got by that scare game. They might have to get by other games. I don't think they're perfect. I don't think they're just going to roll everybody. I think UConn set the standard like last year as, every win's going to be a double-digit win. Come on now. Florida, they have some competition. I mean, they got Auburn. They got Duke. You got Michigan State. I mean, Maryland might be it. Texas Tech. I think there are a lot of good teams this year, and I don't know if everybody realizes that. Like, there are a lot of good teams in college basketball, but the Florida Gators are one of them. We're going to talk Disney on Ice right now. Come on, Flo from France. This is always fun to meet the folks behind the scenes at Disney on Ice. Austen Lane back there. He's a skater, too.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, Flo?
Hockey, though. Hockey.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't think Austin's doing triple axels,
all the flips and stuff.
Like
Yeah.
I would probably break my hip or something.
What's the craziest stunt you do?
I do a couple of backflips a show, and then I have a special stunt off of a trampoline. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How does this trampoline thing work?
Here I have
with skates.
I have a video actually that I can show you. Yeah. Right there.
You got it. You had it ready to go.
Yeah. Here.
Let's see. I might even be able to hold. Oh, you can do it.
I can show it. There you go.
Austin, I'm not sure if you can.
I can.
See it.
I can make it out a little bit here. Yeah. What the?
Oh, you go over the.
There you
yeah,
go.
that's pretty
There you
good.
go.
Wow. Dang.
It's almost like a skateboarding stunt, but on skates, not skateboarding, is what it looked like. X Games. You can go play in the X Games.
That's right, maybe.
Hey, you're on the. Hey, Austin, remember we've been doing something to steal from Tampa?
Yes, exactly.
On the show, like what
Correct.
do you want from Tampa? Well, we got Disney on Ice this weekend from Tampa. That's where we were.
I like it, man.
Last week. Yeah.
You're in a little bit of a Florida swing. You said that for about 3 weeks, right? Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather.
It was good because we also came from a really cold weather and we had a snow for a great part of the tour. So right now it's good.
You've been doing this a long time now?
Yeah. I've been on tour for 15 years, but with Disney specifically for 11. About that. Yeah.
What's the lifestyle like? I don't know what it's like. But we talk professional sports a lot, right? And baseball season opens today, and you got guys that go on the road. That's a grind. I don't think people appreciate how much being on the road a lot. There are other professions I think of like that maybe are the same ilk. If you're on if you work on a cruise, you're always on the road and always away from home. What is it like for you to always kind of be in a suitcase and on a plane or in a bus and away from home?
You talked about cruise, but I worked on a cruise as well, so it's I understand what you're talking about. But it's It's a different city every single week, so it's always on the run and always on the go and always constantly keeping shape and maintaining the show the way it is. So it's constantly moving, which I love. I love, and I've been in this life for like 11 years, 15 now in general, but 11 years with Disney, so I keep enjoying it every single year.
Austin's an NFL player. He's a UFC fighter, so he stays in shape. I'm a guy that wears makeup on TV for a living, so I don't really – I mean, I should stay in shape, but the road is not fun to stay in shape. Like, I mean, you got to be willing to work out in hotels or not eat the food or go to the bar or whatever else. I mean, the road can be a tricky place to stay as fit as you need to be, right?
Yeah, it is tricky, but when you're there when you do have discipline, of course, as a sports people, they understand about discipline. But if you have that and you understand it and you keep it always consistent, then you always find a way to make sure that you have your proper workout and your proper maintenance, I would say, for your week, basically. Yeah.
Flo,
Awesome. What do you got?
Yeah, what I'm really curious about, so obviously, when you're in Disney, you got to play characters, right? So, like, how does that go about? Like, do you approach them saying, hey, I want to try this character out, or do they come to you? And then also, I assume when you skate, like, these rinks are all built differently, right? Like, some are bigger, some are smaller. So, like, do you have to adjust really, like, what the game plan is in terms of your performance on a like a daily show, or is it kind of the same thing every single time?
So to answer your second question, the way it works every single week is that we have a validation day, which is the opening day, we call it, and it's usually the day we open the show, so we have the show at night. But during the entire day, we have rehearsals, and we're adjusting to the size of the ice or to the texture of the ice, or we're rehearsing different details of different numbers and rehearsing our solos and stuff like that. So the first day of the week where we start the show is really where we start most of the time the earliest, and then we just really get everything going and make sure we're all in the same page for the show and for the week. And to answer your first question about the characters and that, so we have a really good casting director here at Disney, and most of the times it's by looks. If you look like a certain type of character or a silhouette that you look like a certain type of character, then you'll be considered for something. You can definitely have a choice and have a want and a say in what you want, the character you want to portray. But at the end of the day, the casting director will always find a way to make sure you play the character that you're meant to. And I've been portraying the role of Kristoff from Frozen for the past, I'd say, 8 years.
Wow.
And I'm still loving it. Yeah.
Wow, is that hard to keep that fresh after 8 years? And I mean, or do you become at times Kristoff instead of Flo?
You do have some mimics in the everyday life where you're like, oh, wait, that was not me. Sorry, that was not me.
Austin, I used to say this about Jackson DeVille and Curtis, right?
Yeah.
When Curtis hung it up from being Jackson DeVille, he was the mascot for the Jaguars. And I'm like, everybody knows him as Jackson DeVille. Like, they knew who he was, but it was like, Curtis had to, like, come out of that costume and tell people who Curtis was.
Doing some gestures from the actual.
By the way, Curtis ain't afraid to tell you who he is, but I mean,
it's
kind of
sure.
like a little adaptation. By the way, Disney on Ice coming up 7 o'clock Friday, 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock on Saturday. So 3 shows, and then a 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock on Sunday. Whew, that's a grinder.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I mean, are you exhausted after the weekend?
It's a bit tiring. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's for real. But every single week we have enough days to rest and to keep it fresh every single week. So we're good.
Yeah. What? Obviously, this connection with the kids, right, at Disney on Ice is cool. Does that ever get old?
No.
Seeing those smiles, seeing those kids that are just having the time of their life, right? And probably moms and dads too, watching their kids have the time of their life.
It doesn't get old. It's very fun to actually see the kids like just brighten up, and their faces just lighting up completely. But the parents too, it's like they come with not really a lot of expectations, except, oh, I'm just gonna give my kid a good time, But really, what's really fun for me is also seeing them just relive a story, relive nostalgia, and just having their face as big as their kids.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Two things for you before we let you go, and I know you got to run. You got a busy weekend ahead. Disney on Ice, of course, coming to Jacksonville VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena all weekend long. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. Are you a sports fan, first of all? And if so, what do you like? And two, what do you do after this? Have you been doing this now for 12, 15 years? You talked about being on a cruise before. What's life after Disney look like for Flo?
Well, for me, I'd say it's about probably coaching, a lot of coaching, mentoring and coaching. And two, the tricks that I do in the show is a thing that I really enjoy doing now, and I think I will probably keep doing. And I'm also the skate technician and the sharpener for everybody. So maybe opening my own shop and
cool.
working like that with other skaters. But it's still in the skating industry, obviously. Yeah.
Where did you get that? Have you been doing that since you were younger, or is that something you picked up?
Since I started skating, I was like, I don't want to trust anybody with my blades, so I want to learn how to do it, and it all started there, and it's been 12 years now.
That's pretty
cool. I'm doing it, yeah.
We have a Jacksonville Iceman in town, and I've actually talked to the guy just briefly who sharpens their skates, and there's a lot of new modern technology to do that, I think. Yeah. But he actually is like an old school guy, likes to do it the old school way. Is that what you do it?
Yeah. I
kind of get
it by hand, the old school way. And,
wow.
It's like you still have the flip phone version of sharpening blades.
The sharpening machine is still from 12 years ago, and I'm still doing it by hand, like the real old school way, and
that's cool.
I prefer that a lot. I trust the process a lot more. Yeah, and to answer your question, I'm not like a incredible crazy sports fan, but I do watch a lot of obviously ice sports and more, since I'm from France, a lot of European soccer and rugby. I watch a lot of that. Yeah.
All right, good deal. Yeah. Austin, you got anything else back there?
Man, I was going to ask you, because obviously being on the road, and you've done this for so long, right? So you obviously have your routine and everything to stay in shape, to make sure you got all your moves down. But like, what do you, as far as free time's concerned, and I'm sure there's not a lot of it, but like, how do you, because you have to find that balance, right? You have to find your work balance, your professional life balance to just everyday life. So like, what are some of the things that you're into in terms of not skating thing? Like, what do you do on the road to kind of get you away from skating?
I like sleeping.
Got to get those 8 hours in, right?
Sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I make sure my body is rested. That's the first thing I do. I don't move from my hotel or wherever I rest. I don't move from until I'm fully rested, and then I can just start visiting the city or visiting where I'm at. But I prioritize rest.
I like it.
That's a big deal. I mean, recovery in sports is a massive thing. No doubt about it. Flo from France, also one of the big stars of Disney on Ice this weekend, of course, in Jacksonville. Several shows again, 7 o'clock Friday, 11, 3, 7 on Saturday, 1 and 5 on Sunday. Ticketmaster.com right here at the arena. Should be a fun event. I will leave you with this. You said most of the time appearance will say which kind of character you should be. Would you label us as a certain character? I mean, Austin and I, we look a lot alike. We're brothers. I don't know
I'm the Beast, man. I'm the Beast of Beauty and the Beast, I would say.
I would see you guys as Pocahontas and Captain Smith, probably.
Yeah. Okay. I can rock a wig.
Compliment or not?
That's whatever, man. I'll take it. I mean, she's a big A. She's big, man. Like, people know who she is. I can be a star.
That's right.
Yeah.
Star of the show. All right. Hey, have a great weekend in Jacksonville.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Hey, let's just take a time out. We got Shock Your Mock coming up right after this. Major League Baseball predictions. We're going to talk a little fishing on the show today. Daniel Griffiths excited about this article, writes about the defensive coordinator of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, we got so much still on the way here from String Sports Brewery on a great sports day with Major League Baseball starting up, Sweet 16 as well, and plenty more to discuss on the Brent and Austen Show on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jacks Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Duval!
Cozy up to the bar, grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic. He's got some exciting news heading into 2025 as well. Christian Kirk. It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you. Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jax Beach, which many of you have, you got to do it. String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jax Beach on Penman Road.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers. And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, you can take 10% off any water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
I'm ready to show my hand, ready to take a stand, wait on a sign above, and I am ready, ready, 'cause I just live for the game, 'cause I just live for the game, 'cause I just live for the game. The crowds for the tape. I got it. Iconic. I'm built to win. Back to back, I do it again. I'm iconic. I'm one of a kind. I'm iconic. I'm built to win. I'm one of a kind.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Oh, you're so excited, Hamby, about Major League Baseball season, aren't you? I mean, really excited. Fired up for it. How excited are you, Hamby?
I might have written a poem.
You wrote a poem. You did that last year, didn't you?
Well, I had a whole bit last year, but like Austen, I set a standard for myself that I don't know if I could uphold this time around. Maybe if I if I wasn't working overnight, I could have put a little bit more time, but I think it will suffice to say the least.
Yeah. Oh, so what he's saying, Austen, is unlike you. Like last year, you thought you failed on the Shock Your Mock song. So
I really did. Yeah.
You wanted to raise the standard. What Hamby's saying, he's satisfied with his work from last year.
Correct.
So he didn't need to.
It speaks
raise
for
it
itself.
Up a notch.
It speaks for itself. He's, he has the resume. He's just going to kind of phone it in this year. It's all good.
I love it. Well, do you want to read the poem now? Before we do Shock Your Mock?
Well, I feel like we should wait before we make our picks, right? Before we get into like baseball mode or not?
Yeah, I mean, we can wait.
I mean, I don't want to produce the show.
Hey, I will just say this as a teaser. I'm the only one with any slight bit of chip on his shoulder, any bit of grit today, because I mean, holy cow, opening day, not a Red Sox shirt, couldn't even bother. Brewer shirt, couldn't bother, no problem. I mean, are we mailing it in on opening day? I know we're not mailing it in other areas, but I mean, what are we doing?
No, hey, I'm going to be honest. I completely forgot today was Thursday. My days have been all mixed up. Yeah, that's on me because usually I do rock my Brewers middle finger T-shirt, on opening day. Yeah, just completely forgot about it. Completely spaced my mind. But I was kind of busy doing the whole, Shock Your Mock thing, breaking down some of these players, so I kind of got a little distracted. Brent, your excuse.
There's a couple of things there. By the way, I'm a chip on the shoulder. I got plenty of it. We started the show 21 minutes late today, so I got plenty of chip on my shoulder. But the other thing is I have a couple Red Sox shirts, but I try to be honest with everybody. I'm not like rah-rah Red Sox guy like you are the Braves. I'm not locking in all the time. I am just happy that the Red Sox are not going to be picked to finish last in the East this year. And I think they have a chance to be competitive in what is turning out to be a not-so-great division, especially with Garrett Cole on the shelf. And, like the Yankees have 8 guys on IL. And I continue to be torn whether I'm rooting for the Yankees and my buddy Travis Chapman coaching first base, or I just can't stand the Yankees so much that I just hope they can't even field a team. So I love Major League Baseball. I love opening day. I love it all. But and then the one other part of this is I was trying to steal one of Ty's Tampa shirts, considering we stole the Rays from Tampa earlier this week as one of our what are we going to take from Tampa things.
Yes.
But they wouldn't fit because I'm a little chubby and he's not. So
sure.
Are we keeping track of what we're stealing from Tampa? Like, do we have a list someplace or?
Yeah, I think we will make one. Yes.
Okay.
We will make one.
Nice.
We'll have to continue to check it out. We have to grow that list and maybe put like a little collage together.
Now we're talking.
Send it to the city of Tampa and what we're taking. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby. It is Major League Baseball opening day. We mentioned Sweet 16, obviously, tonight. Gators play at 7:39. Great place to watch it all right here. String Sports Brewery. We're in Springfield. Last week we were in Jax Beach. And we'll have some predictions coming up. And obviously the poem coming up with Jason Hamby and Major League Baseball in just a bit. But it is Shock Your Mock time. And Hamby, impressed with the song, he wants it out like, what do they call those things? Like on an LP or something? Or is it an EP?
EP?
Or whatever?
EP? Want it in vinyl, Hamby? I can get one pressed in vinyl.
I'm in, man. Okay, so yesterday, really weird. I took 2 different 3-hour naps. In between those, I knew I had to eat at some point. So as I've done throughout my life with a long-distance girlfriend, my staple is to go to Chipotle or fancy sushi or something, place like that.
Nice.
Get my meal to take out, and I eat in the parking lot. It's an incredible thing. You pull up YouTube.
Hey, man.
And been doing it for years, even going back to college. look, I'm not the only one who does it. It's a sacred time. You got your meal. You don't eat in the restaurant. You lock in on a nice YouTube video, and you get to chow. And so I said, well, I got to take this time instead of watching, behind the Braves, getting ready for the season, or who knows what. I was like, all right, I got to go back, and I gotta get ready for Shock Your Mock. I got to go back and listen to the show since I was asleep. So I come up, listen to the show. They must have heard me from inside the restaurant laughing.
Oh, right.
They had to have. I'm like looking for somebody to point out to that this guy is mentioning my Kirk Cousins take in a Shock Your Mock song.
Oh yeah,
that was a very nice touch.
Yeah, thank you.
And yes, that needs to be posted immediately.
Real quick, Hamby, why not just eat inside? Because are you running your car? Because it gets hot outside now. So are you running the AC the whole time?
No, dude, it's like.
And are you worried about spilling in your car?
Well, shoot, man. My car's seen worse.
Okay.
Okay. My brother jokes that there's a person living in the back seat sometimes.
Fair.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just asking the hard hitting questions here because you said that. I'm like, well, I got to get to the bottom of this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Without any further hesitation,
do we have the results from
your new favorite?
Well, do we have the results from the first round or not? From yesterday? Do we know who
results? We're going to put all these together on the weekend. And did you put one out?
I didn't know. I was wondering if we did. I don't know if we did or not.
So we're going to put them all together.
It was in the text thread, man. I don't know.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was working out.
Yeah, I got you. Working out at 8 o'clock last night or 7 o'clock last night. I bet you were. All right.
Without further ado.
Whatever. Just play the song.
Yeah.
Shh. I see Shock Max.
Are you going to play the song?
Dude.
I am shocked. I am
shocked.
That's what I mean. I am appalled.
Because you guys wouldn't figure it out. Figure it out. Next year.
Hey, you need to get off Kirk Cousins. And being a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
9. Cannot sleep on Kirk. Sleep on Kirk.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Even for the internet, it's pretty shocking.
Mel, talk to me.
He's got a huge trunk, though.
Figure it out.
He's got a huge trunk, though.
Figure it out.
He's got a huge trunk, though.
Duval.
I feel shocked.
Jack the Chagrin.
I feel shocked.
Jack the Chagrin.
I feel shocked.
Duval.
With that,
Game on. Let's go.
Man. Brent, you didn't hear it, huh?
Couldn't hear a thing. Nope,
that's a bummer.
What else is new?
It's all good, man. Believe me, it sounded great the second time around as well. Went down smooth.
All right. I bet it sounded awesome. By the way, our Shock Your Mock Day 2 also brought to you by Everbank Advantage U, and you can enter into the Everbank Draft Night experience. Duval your way to Green Bay. The sweepstakes includes round-trip airfare for 2, hotel accommodations for up to 3 nights, 2 tickets to the first round of the NFL Draft. How about that? All you have to do is go to everbank.com/draft to enter, and you have until April 4th. So really this next week or so, we'll keep reminding you about it, but you can go to that NFL Draft experience in Green Bay. Would be pretty cool to do. Now let's get Shock Your Mock Day 2. Take us through it, Austen Lane. What do we got?
Do we got names or not? No?
The first one is Timmy Vo.
Okay, cool.
And the one on the bottom is Clint, who is also Glenn C.
Okay,
a regular listener.
So we got big time Timmy Jim up top, and then we got who down low? Clint?
Yeah, we'll go Glenn C for that one.
Glenn C. All right. Oh yeah, friend of the show for sure. Okay, cool. All right, man. So Brent, can you see it? We good?
Yep.
All right, let us dive in here. So first pick for Timmy Vo. Oh, I see on top. For Timmy Vo, we got. Obviously, he made a trade here. I'm not sure what the capital was. I'm not sure what we gave up, what we got. too lazy to figure that part out. But at pick number 15, going with the golden one, as they call him, Matthew Golden, 5'11", 191, ran a 4.29 NFL comparison is Chris Olave. Scout said that route running needs refinement, but has the ability to play all three receiver spots. Sounds a lot like Brian Thomas Jr. coming out of the draft. You know what I'm saying? Meets the moments with big plays in games. Not afraid of the big moment. Twitchy pluck and tuck, protects the catch through contact. I'll say that again.
One more time.
Twitchy pluck and tuck, protects the catch through contact. So maybe it's kind of like a David Blaine sleight of hand. He's got fast hands where he catches it and then he tucks it away. So maybe there's a guy could be like any kind of peanut punches or anything like that. I don't know. Routes can be too nonchalant and unfocused. So maybe there's some ADD taking place there, and takes foot off the gas if route is covered. Inconsistent, works back to throws. Dude ran a 4.2, but I feel like a lot of the throws are probably going to be a little like underthrown because he's so fast. So he's going to have to work on running back to the ball because, well, his speed's going to get him pretty wide open, I feel like. Brent, your thoughts?
Well, hey, Matthew Golden, it seems like he's getting a lot of attention. There's a lot of momentum for him. I know Ted McMillan, obviously, and Travis Hunter, of course, if he does play wide receiver, are top guys on the board. But Golden is an interesting animal here now. I mean, this is an interesting one to watch, and especially if you do trade back and you still want wide receiver, and if they play the board a little bit like the Jags did last year with Brian Thomas Jr., Austin, I think it's worth mentioning, although the top three guys on the board last year are not bad players, and they look like they're going to still be good players, the Jags were able to get maybe a better player at number 23. I'm not sure if that's the way this shakes out this year, but Matthew Golden is a little maybe slept on in some respects, at least looking at him as one of the top guys in the draft. There seems like there's separation amongst the groupthink.
Yeah, looks like a Kansas City Chief to me. Next pick, we got Donovan Jackson, 6'4", 315, 33.5-inch arms out of Ohio State. He's second in guard metrics when you add production and athleticism. Don't worry, I crunched the numbers, and by crunch the numbers, I just looked at the website. That's what it said. NFL comparison is Wyatt Teller, once again solidifying that I don't know any guards unless their name is Quentin Nelson. He's the guard prototype. He's got a thick chest, broad hips, long arms, and big hands. This guy, Brent, and I quote, is a thwarter and a thumper. Okay, so he's like Scooby-Doo in the gang where they're going to thwart, like the bad guys and solve the mystery. But then he's kind of like the Peaky Blinders where when you thwart it, they're actually going to beat the crap out of you as well. So a little bit of, little Scooby-Doo, little Peaky Blinders, best of both worlds. Some of the cons is that the fact that he is a wide dude, but he also has wide protection hands that leave his frame wide open. A whole lot of wide talk with this guy, Brent. He's a big dude.
So he's a big back.
He's big back, big dude. Big dude. And it says that quicker defenders can beat this guy. But obviously, you talk about him, it's all about the size, Brent.
Well, by the way, I think when you're talking about a guard, quicker defenders can beat almost any guard. It's always going to be something. If that's your weak spot, that's going to be something that people are going to be able to take advantage of anyway. So, hey, we're going offensive line early on. Obviously, you see 36 and 43 here, and then even 70, Austin.
Trevor Lawrence is pretty happy right now. Well, it's that pick. We got to go pick 43 first, Brent, because we're an offensive tackle here.
Yep.
From Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Brent, what's that guy's name?
Hold on. Alrante Ursary.
Arante Ursary. Yep. Let's just skip him because the name. But listen, oh, come on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, it's hard enough. Like, I know, like, what, Jordan Lewis, that's about it for who the Jaguars got in free agency. Like, I'm still trying to learn a bunch of names and everything. I'm still trying to learn coaches' names. The last thing I need to learn is this dude's name as well. So, it's a hard one, but listen, 6'6", 331, ran a 5.01. So
too many vowels in the first name. We got to get more consonants in there.
Way too many. So let's just go ahead and call it a 5 flat. 6'6", 331, ran a 5 flat. NFL comparison is Marcus Cannon. This is a big, once again quoting, he's a big boy with good quickness. A guy more suited for the right side in terms of his stoutness and his personality. Once again, that's not me saying this is the draft write-up.
You shouldn't be able to call any offensive lineman a big boy. They're all big boys.
You would think so. And I guess he's not meant to play left tackle. So then I'm wondering, is he an ambi-turner? And if you don't know what an ambi-turner is, I mean, to put that in the category, one of the great ambi-turners of our time is Derek Zoolander. But you know who Derek Zoolander is?
I do.
Okay, Hamby?
From Zoolander, the movie?
Wait, hey man, what else would it be from? Scouts have said that this guy is a mass of humanity with a broad chest and long arms. Has tight hips though, and a below average pop. So a below average pop, kind of like a cream soda to me. I don't like cream soda. Kind of trash. Kind of overrated. A lot of sugar. So he's a big dude, but he's the cream soda of trying to thump people. Take that for how you want.
Got some great references so far, man, from Zoolander to
this is why I need my research, Brent.
To Scooby-Doo.
I got you, man. Brent, your thoughts on, I'm not going to say his name, this guy out of Minnesota. That's what I'm going to call it. The Jaguars draft him. The guy out of Minnesota.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, there are plenty of these guys in the draft where we often say, the guy out of X. Please say your name on the conference call. That would help. Hey, yeah,
that's got to be Ariante.
Here's the thing. Yeah, because I thought it was an L there on my. I put my glasses on, but it looks like an I. So Ariante, yeah, Ursuri, easy enough. Man, these guys are going offense heavy. By the way, Timmy is, but
yeah,
going that offensive line, Austin. I just think the thing about the offensive line in this whole shakeup with the free agency is, I mean, how many guys do you want to add? I mean,
because you just kind of paid some gentlemen too. You know, exactly. There's only so many spots to take up, and are we trading Walker Little? Yeah, man. I feel like there's too many cooks and not enough dishes or plates. I don't know. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say, man. Too many cooks in the kitchen. I'm going to defer pick numbers.
This makes sense.
Well, and I'm going to defer pick number 70 to Jason Hamby because this comes from, you'd think his alma mater in Georgia. Jason Hamby, you got any thoughts on Jared Wilson, center?
Dog. Quick. Okay. Quick to put defenders in the dirt. At times hesitant to look for the next block. He'd make the initial one, start running downfield and wouldn't get his head around to an incoming would-be tackler. That's something that he improved on last year. Knows defenses really well. One of the best centers in the draft. I think he's 6'3", good size. No idea about arm length, but very athletic guy. He can definitely pull. And he would be a staple on the offensive line for years, I believe.
So 6'3", 310, 32 and 3/8 inch arms, so pretty long arms, and 10 and 3/4 hands. So those are some mitts. Call him Johnny Bench. He's a catcher. Athleticism score was number 1 overall at the combine.
What a baby.
And by the way, production score was number 1 overall as well. So if you want to take metrics into account here, from NFL Next Gen Stats, he is the top rated center. Ran a 4.84, 9.4 broad jump. This dude's athletic, man. We always think of our centers, right, as just kind of these, these bearded, tubby dudes who do podcasts with their brother. But there's actually, there's some freaks of nature out there, too, as well. Listen, I love Jason Kelce. Brent, relax. It's just a joke. The one thing about this, so this is a 1-year starter, right? So in terms of experience, usually when centers come in, they're talking about 3-4 years as a starter. It's a 1-year starter. He's got the size and power to hold his own against NFL nose tackles. The biggest thing for him going forward, though, is the first contact. He doesn't land a lot of force, and he will lean into his punches sometimes as well. But I think at this pick, where we're talking pick number 70, you get the best center in the draft. I mean, you're not going to bring him in right away and play him, but you can develop him. I'm not mad at it, especially if he didn't fall to you at number 88. So, not bad. Brent, your thoughts real quick.
Yeah, I like 70. I like this area for a potential center for the Jags. This is all going to lean on how much do they like Hainsey, how much do they really feel like he's going to be a part of their future and he's going to be the guy, or is there still some hesitation based on the fact that he got beat out last year? I know he knows the offense. It's a reasonable deal for him, but they are paying him to probably come in here and be the starter year one. So does that push them back in the back part of the draft a little bit for their future center where they could take a shot on somebody, and maybe it turns into a Jason Kelsey, by the way, who was a 6th-round draft pick and then had an illustrious career. There are various ways to find your center. In Jacksonville, they've been earlier. 3rd round for Brandon Linder, nice career, good player. Brad Meester, go all the way back to 2000, I think it was. That was the 2nd-round pick, Austin. So there's various ways to do this and find the center. It's a matter of how much importance, I think, right now they put at that position, given the fact that they do have Luke Fortner and they do have Hainsey, who they just signed in free agency.
All right, fair enough. Let's go to the next one here. Pick number 88. We're going to Tennessee. Rocky Top. Nick's going crazy right now. Defensive tackle Omar Norman Lott. And I kind of like the flow of the name. You got 2 R's in the beginning, and you got 2 T's at the end, man. I'm not mad at that. So Omar Norman Lott, 6'2", 291, 31-inch vertical, 9'5" on the broad. Didn't get the 40, but I'm sure he ran a good one at the pro day because, well, everyone runs a good 40 at the pro day. Listen, this guy's an undersized interior defender who will need to specialize in penetration and havoc to create success in one-gap schemes. Maybe like the Joker, I guess. Like, you know, he has to get like a little bit of a villain arc. And listen, this guy you're going to hear about, he's undersized a little bit, right? 6'2", 291, not the biggest dude, but everything that you read about him, he makes up for it with his motor. Scout says that he's rangy. He's a rangy run defender with a full tank of gas. Inflation be damned, Brent. This guy's running on premium gasoline at all times because he's an energetic pass rusher with a high pressure rate. All right, so maybe it's kind of like drafting. Like I feel like
pretty cheap right now.
It is gone up again. In case you didn't notice, I had it fill up last night. We're back to $3 again. Get it down, Brent. Essentially, this guy's like the Tasmanian devil. Okay, like he's a little on the shorter side. Like you see him, it's like, he could be kind of cute, but the dude will take your head off if he gets the chance to. Lacks mass to make up, so he's not gonna be like a 2-gapper per se, but in a 1-gap scheme, and not really expecting to be a pocket collapser, more of a guy who's gonna kind of, you know, beat the guy around the corner. This is the guy you want. When I feel like in this Jaguars defense, you might be able to get a little bit of that.
Let me ask you 3 quick questions then on this. So this defense, this would fit, right? 1-gap scheme, you kind of feel like this is going to be for Campanile.
I feel good. Yep.
Number 2, does the height matter from this position to you? Like it might at edge, it might at left tackle, it might at certain spots. Does the height matter?
I mean, ask Aaron Donald if the height matters. You know, like I think if you play with great pad level, you have good explosiveness and good strength, that can make up for in height. Right, the only reason why Aaron Donald fell where he did, and when I say fall, he was still a 1st-round pick, but, you know, dude's 6'1", right? But, like, you look at him play, and it doesn't matter. Like, you know, he gets the job done. So, Brent, to answer your question, you know, we have the preconceived notions of what a defensive tackle should look like, you know, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", Calais Campbell, 6'9", whatever the case may be. But if you have the good get-off, if you have the athleticism, explosiveness, 6'1" is just fine.
All right, one last one for you. How important do you think at this position is the motor? Because what we hear about Mason Graham is motor as well. I always think that's a nice positive attribute for a player, especially on defense. But I also feel like at times these big fellas on the inside, specifically, we talk about those guys taking plays off from time to time because they get fatigued on drives and you don't always give it your all. You got to save a little bit of something, conserve energy. When you see the fact a guy who's described as that motor, and we talk about gas prices because of it, how important is that on the interior?
It's everything. Because that, I feel like, can't be taught. And I think a lot of coaches around the NFL will agree with me, where you're either ingrained with a motor or you're not. And that's what got me to the NFL in the first place, right? Because, yeah, I'm 6'6", but guess what? There's a lot of 6'6" guys out there, right? And, like, what set me apart from other film was my ability to finish, was my ability to take on blockers and chase down plays and things like that. So you either have the motor or you don't. It's not something where you can just come and be like, hey, you played a little lazily in college, but it's all good. You're in the NFL now. You're going to turn it around. Like, no, it's ingrained in you. So either you have it or you don't, Brent. And this guy obviously has it. It's very praised, and that it's not everything, right? Like, it can't be everything, but I think it is a big part, whether it's in the run game or in the pass game, because I always talk about there's 3 phases. There's the get off, there's the move area, and there's the finish. And the finish, it all comes down to it all comes down to your mentality. Like, yeah, you have to have the good move area, you have to have the good moves, you have to have the get off, you have to be fast, but at the end of the day, can you get home when it matters the most? That's where motor comes into play.
All right, let's keep going with Timmy Vo as we now get into the middle rounds of this draft for him.
Yeah, once again, Trevor Lawrence, pretty happy with this pick, I would say. We got Elijah Arroyo, close, missed it by that much. Elijah Arroyo, 6'5", 250, 33-inch arms, 10-inch hands, second in tight end athletic score after the combine. Coming off a few knee injuries, he's considered to be an average athlete, even though he's second in the athleticism score. He struggles to beat man coverage, but became faster and more fluid as the season progressed. He has soft, sudden hands, and prioritizes blocking, which is going to be important in this Liam Cohen offense. He needs to clean up his runway to get it going after the catch. Not sure if that's more of Elon Musk cutting things and all of a sudden, the airports. I don't know. Not going to go there. But needs to clean up the runway. He's not going to have any air traffic control, obviously, to work with. Played in 11 games in 2012. I'm sorry. Played in 11 games in 2022 and 2023 combined due to knee injuries. So there is a little bit of a health factor there as well.
Okay. One thing as we keep rolling through this, a lot of big schools, right? Obviously, Timmy Vo saying, hey, let's go get him from the big schools. This is not Gene Smith's son doing this draft here.
Nice.
On Shock Your Mock.
Murray State, we'll see you later, right? Next pick, Hamby. I'll let you have the floor again. We're going back to you think your alma mater. Samuel. Swami. Go ahead.
Smile Mondon.
Smile Mondon?
Yeah, he's from Côte d'Ivoire.
Oh, man, you're killing this, Hamby. Go ahead. Keep going, man.
Smile Mondon.
Keep spitting.
Dog. Yeah. He's actually the brother of Phil Maffa, the running back from Clemson. Also a dog, even though he's not a dog. Mm-hmm. Smile Mondon played a lot of running back in high school. And he was the off-ball linebacker in high school, gets to Georgia, fully converts to linebacker. So he's extremely fast. And he's had to fill out his size. I believe he's about 220, 225. So I would assume that the 4th, 5th round grade would be because they probably think that his body's pretty much maxed out.
Oh, you nailed it, Hammy. I was just going to say that. So Scout's saying that this guy is absolutely maxed out. He cannot put on another pound without risk of blowing up. It's kind of like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory with the girl with the blueberries when she went floating and that's what we're talking about here with Smile Mondon. So he's not going to be smiling if he goes to any fast food places. He's got to maintain that weight, Brent. One more extra pound could be too much. Go ahead, Hamby. Sorry.
I would say great instincts, extremely fast, so he's going to try to beat you through the hole. Obviously at 220, 225, there's going to be a lot of NFL linemen who probably have their way, so he's got to get around them. He has the quickness to do that, but that's why he's not a top rounder, is because he's kind of beat you with one way with the instincts and the speed. He's not going to really beat you with the physicality. But as I would say for a 220 pounder, he's the most physical as they coming from Georgia.
Brent, your thoughts? This guy's maxed out though. Be careful.
Well, I don't really have a thought. I do have a little bit of thought on that. It'll be interesting to see size and everything because we knew what Balky was doing, right? Balky was going to get the guys with the measurables, and he wouldn't take a guy like this if he thought he was undersized. Will this regime do a little bit more of that and find the intangibly rich nature of this player, even if a little bit undersized at that weight? One other thing, might have been a top 3 moment for Hamby on the show in his career so far, the last couple minutes.
Oh, yeah, man. He's shining, man. Like I put him on the spot, and he's ready to deliver. I appreciate it. Pick 131. We're going to safety. We're going Jalen Reed from Penn State University. 6'2", 211. Ran a 4.49. Reed has the NFL size and good overall production as a 2-year starter. But there are some concerns on tape, Brent, according to scouts. Now, they didn't talk about what the concerns were. They literally just said there are concerns on tape. Listen, I kid you not. I almost swore. I kid you not. I'm not sure if it's like, when you watch the movie The Ring where you got like 7 days before, but there are some concerns on tape. He does a good job of slipping blocks, but he's had some misreads and mental mistakes during games. Not sure if those are the concerns on tape. I've watched a lot of Penn State football with the Big Ten and everything. I don't remember seeing like him stand out in a bad way. But, Brent, there are some concerns on tape.
All right, we'll see what those concerns are. Keep rifling through here. What do we got? I see Jack Sawyer at the back end, but before we get to him, we got a running back.
Yep, let me quick bring this up. Sorry, man, the email is going a little slow.
Hey, Dylan Sampson needs to be drafted
there we go.
either here or before. He is the SEC's leading rusher. You don't become the SEC's leading rusher and you're not the 10th best running back in the class. I don't think that's physically possible. As much as I would want this guy to tank because he's from Tennessee, this guy is incredibly scary. Again, led the SEC in rushing on a team that couldn't throw the deep ball, so the play action was pretty much taken out with Tennessee. Dylan Sampson is going to be a very good NFL running back.
So 5'8", 200 pounds, 35-inch vertical, did a 10.4 on the broad jump. Obviously a freak of nature. NFL comparison is actually Brian Westbrook. So not bad company to be in at pick 138. Scouts say he's got great wiggle and improvisation.
I like it.
It's a little dance there.
Wiggle.
It's a little wiggle.
Yeah,
I don't mind it, man. I don't mind. Now, I will say this, and take it for all you want. I will say this, though. He didn't do jack for me when I played my son, when my son was Alabama, and I took Tennessee in NCAA football. When I say he didn't do jack for me, he didn't do anything. He had like 10 rushes for like -5 yards. Now, granted, I was playing on Heisman mode. We're at Alabama, so the stadium was pulsing like you wouldn't believe, but didn't do anything for me in the video game. So take that for all you want.
Stadium Pulse every Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. We'll be back with another edition tomorrow morning.
There you go. Hey, Gladstone, I'm just saying, I like the guy on tape, but didn't do anything for me in the video game. All right, next pick. Oh, we got this guy's starting to pop up more and more, Brett.
182?
You never know, man.
Haven't seen the guy go in the third round.
He's got a lot to, yeah, I mean, we'll take it, though. So we got Jack Sawyer, linebacker, edge, 6'4", 260, out of Ohio State University. Made a name for himself by, obviously that whole Michigan ordeal. He's dense framed. And his name sounds like it should be on an Amazon Prime action show. For real. Former Marine and Special Ops Jack Sawyer was living a single life, retired out of the game, but then evil showed up on his country's doorstep. And now Jack Sawyer's going to swipe right on America. Wow. Jack Sawyer coming this fall. I mean, right?
What the heck?
Tell me it doesn't sell itself, though. That's pretty good, right?
I go see that 10 times before I go see the new Snow White once.
Ooh, Hamby.
Sorry about it.
Hamby, it's not made for you, though. You understand that, right?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, that's cool. Brent, and by the way, with Jack Sawyer, obviously this was a guy who, in terms of stats, didn't really hit his stride towards the end of the season, especially in the college football playoffs when it mattered most. Kind of made some money for him, people think. We talked about it before, Brent. Is there still room for this guy to improve at the next level?
Yeah, I like him. And by the way, I can't believe where he's picked versus where yesterday was picked, right? He was on the left column around 130 or 20 or something. So this seems like great value for a guy like Jack Sawyer. And it also shows you that the gap might be wide on where he could go. So let's finish this one off and rock and roll to Glenn C. right after.
The first Noel Williams, he ran California cornerback, ran a 4.5 40. He's a long cornerback, Brent, with eye-popping interception totals that could kind of skew his evaluation a little bit. Obviously, it skewed it here because he's going at pick 186. He lacks the disruption and strength in press coverage. So he's not a fan of the press. Not Press Taylor, but the press coverage. Maybe he likes Press Taylor. We'll never know. But he did have 14 interceptions in his career and 7 in 2024.
Wow.
So the guy is a ball hawk. The guy can find the ball now. You guys' thoughts?
We like that.
And feel free to chime in, too.
Got to add to the room at some point.
I like ball skills there and also length. Right, I'm big on the corner spot. If you can get some length on that defense, I think that length does matter, Austin.
Okay, next pick. Oh, I'm sorry. Now we're going to Glenn C. real quick. Guy that we talked about a little bit on the show.
Not real
pick
quick.
Number. Okay.
Well, it's not.
His 40. Wait, what? There's like a little bit of delay.
Glenn C's 12 picks.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. It's going to be a little long here. I'll try to get through it, though. Hey, I'm trying my best, man. I mean, hey, Gladstone, start trading picks away, like these next couple weeks. Help the show out a little bit. Pick number 11, so obviously he trades back. We get Tet McMillan, 6'4", 219, ran a 4.48 at the Pro Day, allegedly. NFL comparison is Drake London. He's a possession receiver with size and ball skills. Source says that he got hurt in the spring and not sure if he ever made it back to 100% this past year. Go back 2 years to see the full arsenal of Tet McMillan.
That's interesting. Hey, one question about McMillan, and he'll be on some of these boards. Of course, this one's a trade down opportunity here. But do you think possession receiver should be first-round pick? Like, possession receiver feels to me like Allen Robinson or somebody like that, where you could get in the second round and still have a lot of value. Explosive receiver, game-changing receiver feels like a top 10 pick or a top 20 pick, kind of like they got in Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. But, I think, you hear the word possession receiver, and, I think it's not fair. I feel like to wide receivers sometimes, because Devontae Adams was considered a possession receiver. But, Devontae Adams, at one point in his career, was one of the best wide receivers in the league. What would you consider Mike Evans? I'm not sure, what Mike Evans' 40-yard dash is, but, I don't think he's necessarily a burner, but he can go up there and go get it. So, if you mean to tell me that I can get a Mike Evans, and obviously that's very high praise, but if I can get something similar to Mike Evans with Tet McMillan, would I take that in the first round? Oh, yeah.
Good point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Okay. Next pick, we are going to Ole Miss. Defensive tackle, we're going with Walter Nolan, 6'4", 296. Didn't have his I guess he wasn't running the 40-yard dash anymore. Couldn't find the 40-yard dash time. I'm sure he ran it at his pro day, and I'm sure he ran it pretty fast. NFL comparison, friend of the show, guy that interviewed was John Franklin Myers, I believe. Was he at a Stephen F. Austin? Yeah, we'll go with that. He's got starting size, but won't blow you away with his physical traits. This is Walter Nolan, not John Franklin Myers. By the way, has starting size, but won't blow you away with physical traits. Is that the new looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane?
Maybe.
Go and think about it. Okay. Pass rush requires some refinements. Twitchy play-like ability makes him a dog in the backfield. I guess he's got Tourette's. I don't know what to say with that. Plays with secondary effort, can have a narrow base, inconsistent hands inside, but this is a purely an effort type of dude. So once again, kind of circling back to what we had in the first mock with Timmy Bowe, we're getting a guy that's got the attitude. He's got the finishing capability, and you like that. Kind of has a little dog in him, Brent.
Yeah, a dog is okay. The Jags need a little bit of that edge, and hopefully he gives it to him. Keep rocking and rolling. What else is going on?
All right, Walter. All right, so then we're going.
Oh, good luck here, bud.
Yep, we're going to pick number 43. Brent, go ahead and take it away.
Jonah Savainaya.
That's good.
All right, Jonah Savainaya. listen, we're going to Arizona guys with the first 3 picks, so, maybe Arizona State guys next time, not Arizona, but it's all good, though. Jonah Savia, it's like the all Arizona team. 6'4", 324, ran a 4.95. Why don't we talk about this guy?
Membu.
Why talk about Membu? We ain't talking about this guy. 6'4", 324, ran on a 4.95, played right guard, but has the footwork to play tackle. Dense framed, Brent, but he needs an anchor, right? And maybe when we get Paul on the show here in a couple minutes, talk about fishing, maybe Paul's got an anchor for him. But unfortunately, for as big as he is, Brent, this guy gets blown back every once in a while.
Well, don't get blown back for as big as you are, and we don't need this many offensive linemen. Give me something else. I don't need an offensive lineman that's not going to play.
I mean, Brent, this guy's pretty big. I mean, okay, I got you. I see what you're saying.
Brent, that's the first one.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I know, but it's too early. Like, where's he playing? You want him over Anton Harrison? You want him over Walker Little? I mean,
all right, so let me ask you. So would you rather see him go corner than with the 3rd pick, Brendan? What are you talking about here? Because they addressed wide receiver, they addressed interior defensive line. Where do you want to see him go next?
Yeah, I think you either can go corner, safety, edge rusher, tight end before this dude gets on the field.
Okay, that's fair. Next pick, we're going pick number 70, cornerback out of Kentucky. We're going Maxwell Harrison. 5'11", 183. 183. Now, ran a 4.28 at 183. He's a slender outside cornerback. Slender man, just trying to do the best he can. Not sure if you guys know that song or not, but it's a banger. Check that out sometime. Size could be an issue, Brent, and scouts say that he declares his hips prematurely. You can't do that.
Oh,
got to keep him close to the chest. You can't. You can't be declaring the hips early. Where are they going? Oh, you got to keep him guessing. Maxwell, you can't be showing him out there for everyone to see right away. Don't show the cards. Keep him close to you, man. That's about it, though. Obviously, this guy's got speed. It's a technique thing.
It's a technique thing, right? For a receiver to be able to see that, and so that's a tell. That's like a tipping the pitch in baseball.
I mean, I guess, yeah, for sure. He's obviously an athlete, a very fast dude, but the size could be a little bit of a concern.
All right.
Okay.
Edge, finally. This guy's checking some boxes.
Yep, so I think I got this right. Josiah Stewart?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with it. 6'1", 249. Got that Larry Hart build. 31 7/8 inch arms with a 9.5 hand size. Once again, no metrics in terms of 40-yard dash or anything like that. This guy finished 10th, though, in terms of production mixed with athleticism and according to Next Gen Stats. This guy was a Chanticleer for a couple years and upgraded himself to a Wolverine. What an upgrade that indeed is. His NFL comparison is Azeez Ojulari, right?
Dog, Ojulari, that a baby.
Azeez Ojulari?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yep. This guy falls between the classic threshold of a 3-4 outside linebacker, but it might not be that just because of his size. He is a little on the shorter size. Like I said, he's got that Larry Hart build, but Larry Hart got it done for a little bit as well. He plays all day with aggression and thirsts for contact. Some of the weaknesses: below average size for a 3-4 rush linebacker, ducks his head into the edge contact and loses sight of the runner.
All right.
Next pick, Billy Bowman Jr., which sounds like a bowler and not a football player, but it's all good. No judgments there. This guy comes out of Oklahoma. He's a safety, 5'10", 192, and 28.5-inch arms. He's basically a T-Rex out there. Brent ran a 4.42, though, so he's got some speed, 10.3 on the broad jump, has some athleticism as well. Only thing keeping him from a higher grade was his inconsistencies as a tackler. He's not about it, Brent. He'd rather break up passes than he would actually try to make tackles. He is instinctive, though, with 11 career interceptions, including 3 return for touchdowns, but he lacks the height and weight associated with the safety spot. Can get big-bodied by receivers who post up on him. Nobody wants to get big-bodied by anybody. He's 5'10", 192.
Well, that sounds interesting, right? Because all those things that you just mentioned sound like Andre Sisco outside of the height and weight thing. Andre checked those boxes, but it was like ball hawking. But what about the tackling stuff? A guy that likes to go get the ball. 11 interceptions for this guy. I think you just said 3 pick sixes. So that's pretty. It almost sounds like they'd be drafting Andre Sisco, but not necessarily the physical Andre Sisco.
Correct. Next pick, Brent.
Yeah, we had this guy yesterday, right?
We did. And I already forgot.
From
Byshul Tootin. All right, we'll go with that. 5'9", 206, 29.5-inch arms. 4.32 in the 40-inch vertical, 10.10 in the broad jump. Spoiler alert, this guy's a freak of nature. And listen, this is starting to be a trend now, Brent, with this, with these mocks, is you're getting pretty solid running backs later in the round, which is if you can pull the trigger on one, by all means, please do that. NFL comparison is Isaiah Pacheco. Not bad if you can stay healthy, obviously. The big thing about this guy, if you focus too much on small inconsistencies of his college game, you're going to miss the big picture, right? Like, don't look in the present, Brent. Look towards the future. And this guy could have a great future. He's a great combination of wiggle, power, and speed. Didn't know wiggle was such a highly regarded term now in NFL, scouting circles. Like, Hamby, is there a wiggle on Madden? Like a wiggle rating? Well, this guy's got it in spades, I guess, because they can't stop talking about it. Source says, you wish he was just a little bit bigger with how physically he runs, but I really like him. He's loosey-goosey in the open field and gives you real big play juice if he gets blocked up. Yep, so this guy's loosey-goosey, if you will. All right, next. Who are we going with next?
Out of Clemson.
Burningstool.
Talking about Jake Burningstool. I'm not mad at Briningstool. Jake Briningstool. 6'6", 241, 31.5-inch arms. In terms of the metrics, finished 15th in terms of athleticism and production score. He ran a 4.75, 31-inch vertical, 9.7 on the broad jump. NFL comparison is Josh Weil. Who? This guy lacks...
Wiley.
Oh, sorry. Wiley. Who? Who's Josh Wiley?
You don't need. Yeah, he's relevant. Go ahead.
No. Hamby, you said it like you know him. So who's Josh Wiley? Is he from Georgia?
No, I'm pretty sure he was Cincinnati. He lit up UCF when I was there one year.
Oh,
He's
okay.
on the Titans.
Okay. How's he? He's with the Titans now.
Yes, he is.
Oh, well, thoughts and prayers go to that. With Briningstool, he lacks. Makes up for a toughness in both phases. He's a possession-based tight end. Hey, if you're a possession-based tight end, like, a possession receiver is one thing. Possession-based tight end, he's going to struggle against man coverage, but he feasts in zone coverage. So take that for how you want. He operates with space and good body control. This guy can actually play a little bit of the fullback position as well. He's tough. He's gritty, but athleticism leads a little left to be desired. Next pick.
All right,
Brent, you got any thoughts real quick?
Knock out these last three. Let's go. No, I have no thoughts.
All right, we got Ty Robinson, 6'5", 288. Defensive tackle, obviously a little undersized, ran a 4.38. You better at that size. This guy is a bully with a roughshod playing style. Brent, your thoughts about that? What does roughshod mean? Feels like more of an older person term.
Roughshod is that's something like my mom would use, but I like it.
Okay. The scouts say this guy may not be a star, so off to a great start, but his effort, strength, and demeanor will always make up for him in the production factor. So, hey, we're getting Johnny Tryhard, I guess is what the scouts are saying. I don't know, man. Next pick, who we got here?
Kobe King.
Kobe King. I like the name a lot, right? Kobe King. Oh, Ham, you got anything? Because now the internet wants to act up again.
No idea, but we addressed linebacker, so I think it's a good. At some point later in the rounds, I would like a linebacker, and then you finally get to a guard as well with Whitley Lampkin from North Carolina. So that's at least two depth pieces that you can take a flyer on to kind of address two spots where you have starters, but you could always use somebody behind them.
Real quick, Kobe King, 6'1", 236. Doesn't have any of the analytics in terms of what he ran or anything like that, but he's a prototypical big Mike linebacker built with dense is really being a hot word, a hot topic with these drafts here. He's built dense with a muscular frame. Good eye balance between the keys and the action in the backfield. He's got trouble climbing blocks, and the success rate diminishes when forced to chase runners wide. And then last but not least, as Hamby mentioned, Willie Lampkin, 5'11", 290 offensive guard out of North Carolina from Lakeland, Florida. Originally, little about this guy. Transferred to North Carolina, didn't say where, so great right up there, everybody. Strengths is uncanny natural leverage allows him to consistently win battles at the point of attack. Explosive first step for a big man. Weaknesses, frame falls so far outside NFL parameters that some teams will eliminate him regardless of what the tape shows. Dang! 5'11", 290, Brent. There you go.
But 5'11", 290 for a guard? I mean, that sounds like very small to me. But
can he play defensive tackle?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what it sounds like. It would be more somebody on that
Brent,
side of the ball.
But in case you're wondering, he finished in the top 1 percentile in terms of height and weight, or should I say the lowest 1 percentile of height and weight.
I would suspect that. I mean, that jumped out at me when you said that. No, I was like, really? 5'11", 290 for a guard going to the NFL, played at North Carolina? That's going to be tough to get by, I think, for a lot of people. All right, so Timmy Vo against Glenn C. Again, we'll put these 3 from this week out over in the next couple of days, and then everybody can vote on them. That part can take a little bit of time. That's okay, because we'll get our bracket as we get closer to the draft. But interesting, I think I like Glenn C's better than Timmy Vo's, with all due respect, because I don't like all the offensive linemen early on, even though you're helping out Trevor on that left side of the screen up top. I think you check a lot more boxes, Austin, with Glenn C. in the first, whatever that would be, about 4 rounds.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think, addressing a little more on the defensive side of the ball, too, here with Glenn C. I do like that, because keep in mind where this defense finished last year. And, yeah, you got a new defensive coordinator and everything, but can you make that big of a difference? Going to need some more players as well. So I lean towards Glenn C too, but, Brent, that's the beauty of the Shock Your Mock. It's not up to us.
It is not Shock Your Mock this season, brought to you by Everbank. Everbank, advantage you. And don't forget to go to everbank.com/draft to get into that draft day sweepstakes, where you can go to the draft in Green Bay, but you got to do it by next week to get involved in that. Brent and Austin Show, live at String Sports Brewery. We're chasing our tail a little bit today. We're a little bit late on the program, so we're going fishing when we come back, take a timeout, but we still have Daniel Griffiths' article about Anthony Campanile. We've got some picks to do for Major League Baseball. A lot to get to here on a fun Thursday with the Sweet 16 and the Florida Gators playing tonight. This is a great place to watch it. String Sports Brewery here in Springfield or Jacks Beach. It's the Brent and Austin Show on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Simply find us at actionsportsjacks.com. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models, or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
2024 provided plenty of memorable moments for the Jacksonville Armada on the pitch, including another conference championship game appearance for Tommy Krasanovich's under-23 men's team.
Ace it in the dying moments.
Debuting this year for the first time, the girls in blue, as the Armada fielded a women's under-23 side in the WPSL and made its presence known with some highlight moments.
Potential goal of the season.
Then attention turned to the future, with MLS Next teams representing the Armada badge in 3 age divisions this fall, including an under-19 squad ranking among the best in the state. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants.
We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter.
Save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team, like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to Brent and Austen Show, 2025 Wahoo Shootout Champions. We got Captain Zach Wilson and the bigger and better crew. Tournament comes to an end. Joined by in studio, let's go fishing with Paul Dozier. Paul, how we doing today? Pretty big tournament, huh? Pretty good turnout?
Yeah, we're doing great. Yeah, good ending. Good guys won it. Zach and his crew have been really close a couple years. I think we talked about the other day that 2 years ago, I didn't want to jinx them, but 2 years ago, these guys led until the very last weigh-in on the very last day. So there were some anxious moments coming down the stretch, but good for them. They're our champions this year, and all is good. They're gonna win a brand new boat tonight and a whole bunch of money. So it'll be a good night for those guys for sure.
Great night for those guys. So Paul, do you find like in these tournaments, like you said, like anybody has a chance to win it, but like usually do you have some of the same guys towards the top leaderboard that kind of know what they're doing and everything?
Yeah, no question about it. There's I don't think it matters what you do. There's some guys that tend to find their way towards the top, but you know, we've only had repeat winners a couple times, and we've been doing it for 15 years. So, you know, usually a different guy. But you know, I'd say out of the top 10, you know, there's 6 or 7 new people that have never really been there, and then there's 3 or 4 that seem to find their way there more often than not.
Sure. You talking about the largest fish caught was recently, right before the tournament got done with, correct?
Yeah, last week.
Take us through that a little bit.
Yeah, 107 pounder, the one that got Yeah, the shark, we talked about last week, the shark bit the tail right at the boat. I've actually talked to those guys since then. I just gotten through weighing that thing last week when we came in here. But they actually had the fish gaff. They were trying to pull it in the boat, and the shark came up there and bit the tail off. So just crazy. Sharks have gotten to be, like we talked about, they're let's see, are they underregulated? No, they're overregulated, right?
Yeah.
So you can't mess with those things. But the sharks are a problem. They can hardly get a fish in the boat these days.
So is this something new, Paul? Like, did like things change with the shark regulation? It's gotten worse. Okay, so
it's gotten a lot worse.
Okay, so it's a little more where you can't obviously fish them, or you can't.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay, and that's obviously an issue.
That's why we removed the mutilation rule out of our tournaments, because it's such a prevalent problem that we're going to it happens more and more, and. When they bite the tail off, it's black and white. But when you get a little slice down the side of the fish, or a small wound, and somebody could say it's a gaff mark, and somebody else might think it's a shark bite, and then you create controversy and you create problems. So we just said, hey, we're going to bring what you got. We're going to weigh it, and the punishment is the shark bit off 10 pounds of your fish weighs 10 pounds less.
Fair enough. Yeah. Paul, and I got to thank you, man, because obviously the last time that you were here was kind of my introduction to Wahoo and what they tasted like and everything. But you put me in touch with one of your friends, Chris.
Yeah, Chris Townsend.
And I went to Chris's house. I got some Wahoo, fresh, literally caught like the day before. So fresh. Took it home. Made ceviche, made sashimi, and then pan-seared some Wahoo as well, and changed my life, man. You kind of ruined fish for me now, because every time I go to a restaurant or something like that, I'm like, well, it's not going to be as good as the stuff that I had at home that I made by myself. And even, I think it speaks volumes where I have a 10-year-old who, like most 10-year-olds, kind of a picky eater.
Right.
Ate it up, man. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, our son turned 11 last week, and he loves it. We had fresh Wahoo. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get out and catch any myself, but these guys that fish the tournament are very, very generous and gracious, and we appreciate Chris hooking you up and letting you try it. But like we talked about, Wahoo are probably the finest, to me, is as good as anything. The only way you can screw it up is overcook it. As long as you treat it like a piece of ahi tuna, and it will never disappoint.
Yeah, it was delicious. Hamby, you've had Wahoo before?
Never had it.
You're missing out. I wish I would have saved you some, but sorry, ate it all like literally the first night.
That's all good.
Yeah,
Paul, we came in with this graphic right here. I wanted to show this again. The asterisk at the bottom must be present to win the $10,000 Nimnik Lucky Ticket drawing. Awesome, but why do we have an asterisk? Has somebody missed this before?
Yeah.
Really?
So the Nimnik Lucky Ticket is something we came up with for old school about, I guess, the first year we did the old school. And that is everybody that catches a fish and sends a picture in, no matter how big it is entered in a drawing for $10,000. And it went off crazy good. But the catch, if you want to call it a catch, is you or a crew member that was on the boat has to be at the awards party when we do this. So the first year of the old school, we did this, and we pulled at least 4 or 5 numbers before we found the winner.
Wow!
And I don't know what people thought. I don't know if they thought, they'll just call us or whatever. and then you had the guy saying, "Well, I know him." No, that's no good, right? That's not the way it works. Somebody that was on the boat, like, during the tournament, has to be there to win. So the captain, we're all busy people. So if the captain's not there, but a crew member's there, that's good. But I think last year, first pull, old school. This year we missed a couple, and then it's not like a gift certificate to Dave and Buster's. This was a $10,000 check, right?
Yeah.
So there'll be a good crowd there tonight at the awards. The weather's going to be beautiful. St. Augustine Boathouse hosts us down there tonight in St. Augustine, and it's going to be a really nice deal. Live music starting at 5:30, awards at 6:30.
Before we get into the fishing report of what we can expect this weekend, the next big thing that you guys got coming up, it's the old school Kingfish Shootout, which is going to be happening in June.
Yeah, old school Kingfish Shootout is our largest tournament. We had 686 boats in it last year, and it's very unique. It's limited boundaries. We're going to expand the boundaries a little bit this year. Breaking news here on your show, it's going to get a little bit wider. We're going to go a little bit south of Ponce Inlet. It was Ponce Inlet to the center of the St. Mary's Channel. We're going to probably go from St. Simon's Island, Georgia, to about 10 miles south of Ponce Inlet, because when you get this many boats in a limited area, they get on top of each other and they get mad at each other. We just need to let them spread out, let people breathe a little bit, bring a couple more areas into question or into competition. But yeah, second week of June every year, $250 entry fee, oldschoolkingfish.com, and we'll talk a lot more about that as it gets closer. It's not quite ready to turn the page to king mackerel fishing, and the water's still a little cool for them. They're catching big kings offshore, but where we fish old schools on the beach, usually about mid-May they start showing up. So,
well, this is my next question too, and this kind of leads into the fishing report of what you can expect this weekend, but obviously getting a little warmer now with the weather and everything. Like, how much does in terms of temperature play a factor in fishing? Because we talked about before, like, the moon, like if it's a full moon or something like that can play a factor. But like in correlation to that, how important is the weather in terms of your fishing?
Extremely important.
Okay.
Wind more than temperature, but we have fantastic fishing, even when it was freezing. Remember, we had a really cold winter. Remember that? But they were catching redfish still, a lot of redfish in 45-degree water and stuff like that, which is hard to believe. But around here, the Gulf Stream's 50 or 60 miles, sometimes 70 miles offshore. So when it's cold in the winter, you run offshore and the water gets warmer and warmer, and that's what it congregates those fish. In the summertime, when the water is 85 degrees in the surf, the water is only a couple degrees difference in the Gulf Stream, maybe 5 degrees warmer in the Gulf Stream. But in the wintertime, it can be 20 degrees difference, 25 degrees difference. So obviously that'll get the fish tighter and closer together, and that's why the wahoo fishing is good here in the wintertime, because it's warmer water and there's a lot of bait that kind of congregate out there.
Okay, and then do you change? Because like obviously when we talk about baits, they're not like live bait, but like there's different colors of baits and everything. So like, does that come into effect with more the temperatures? Is that more in fact if it's night or dark? Like take us through real quick, just like obviously a layman's casual version of it, but like you have so many different colored baits. Like I go to Big Bass Pro Shops, and I see all the baits on the wall. I'm like, dude, there's way too, and they're not giving them away either.
That's right. They're not cheap, but The old wise tale, or the kind of makes common sense, is on darker days you use darker colors.
Okay,
right? You think about it as overcast and the natural presentation. You want to try to have a natural presentation. If it's bright sunshine day like it is today, then you might use more of a brighter, a pink and white, or a light color lure. Different people like different things. I've caught big fish on dark lures on sunny days, and I've caught big fish on bright lures on cloudy days. So, I think a lot of those lures and those colors are designed to catch us versus catch the fish. If that makes any sense to you.
It makes a little sense to me. So like, I mean, how much like superstition goes into your fishing then, Paul? Like, do you have like that favorite lure where it's like, all right, if I'm trying to catch the big one, like I'm going to break this one out?
There's no question. Again, I don't get to fish as much as I used to.
Sure.
But back when we used to, before we started this tournament, even the first few years, we caught a lot of wahoo. That's what inspired this tournament. I have hundreds of lures, and me and my friend Bubba, who's my number one guy, we put the same 5 out every time. I'm like, well, why do we have all this other stuff? If you're having a bad day, you might say, all right, let's change this, let's try that. But the starting lineup, just like your starting 5 in basketball, was the same every single time we went wahoo fishing. And I haven't gone wahoo fishing literally in 5 years because we were always running this tournament. And when this tournament winds down, the wahoo fishing is kind of the tail end of it. But if we were going to go tomorrow, I'd start out with the same 5 lures.
And when you talk about going out, like certain times obviously make a difference, right? Sure. Like, I mean, are you trying to beat the sun coming up to get the best chance of catching these things? Or
everybody thinks that the early and daylight and dark's probably the best. I mean, if you go fish in the pond behind your house, you're going to find the same thing. Early, low light conditions are probably better than middle of the day. But these Solinar tables and these feeding time, major and minor feeding times for hunting and fishing are just the gospel, really. I mean, there's a major feed, and a major feed just so everybody knows, is when the sun or the moon is directly overhead or directly under your feet. That's two majors a day. And the minors when the moon sets and when the moon rises. So that's when the minor major feeds are, just about every day. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously I think the more moon you have, if it's like a full moon, is that a better shot as opposed to not?
Like
it's hard to believe that fish in the water are like, oh, it's a full moon. Let me go ahead and
feed all night. That's the theory. They can see and feed all night.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
But leading up to the full moon is when they say these wahoo, that's when they like to catch the big wahoo. That's what everybody was waiting for, was the full moon in March, is what everybody thinks is the best. The new moon and full moon are the two. And I think a lot of that might have to do, certainly the moons matter, but the major feeding time when it's a full or new moon's in the middle of the day. So everybody's out there. They got their bait right. They figured out the spot where the bait is, where they're likely to get the bite. And that's probably has something to do with it as well.
One more question for you, then we can talk about this weekend's forecast and everything. So one of my friends back home in Wisconsin, his name's Andrew. He's a muskie fisherman.
Okay.
So he's sponsored and everything. But he's done the whole bass tournaments, but not really into that. He loves going after muskies because number one, they're big, and number two, they're harder to catch. Right? They're a little more like a unicorn. In your opinion, if we're talking about in the ocean and everything, what's the unicorn for fishermen around here? What's that rare fish where it's hey, I caught one of these. Let's take a picture. Let's get this mounted.
Yeah. Well, blue marlin. Obviously. A blue marlin, which we catch blue marlin out here in the springtime, starting about right now, all the way up through the summer. You got to go way offshore, but a blue marlin. It used to be a wahoo was hard to catch until these guys have mastered it. But when I was a kid, if you caught a bunch of wahoo, you're a pretty good fisherman. A big dolphin, just a one-of-a-kind fish these days. If you catch a yellowfin tuna on the west side of the Gulf Stream, to catch yellowfin tuna around here, you usually have to go at least 100 miles offshore to the eastern wall of the Gulf Stream. Well, a guy in our tournament, and I wish I had thought about this to send a picture in, caught about an 85-pound yellowfin tuna or a big eye tuna. We're getting conflicting reports on that, but a very big tuna, excellent eating too, by the way.
Oh yeah,
excellent table fare. But on a high-speed wahoo lure last week, I don't remember exactly what day, but it was a big, nice fish, which is extremely rare. It didn't used to be rare. Again, we used to catch yellowfins all the time 25, 30 years ago, but now, for some reason, just the cycle, they're passing us on the east side of the Gulf Stream.
All right, and then we talk about weather this weekend. What can everybody expect? What can you go out there and catch?
Well, the inshore fishing, this is probably the best time of year to inshore fish. The creeks are coming alive, the trout, the redfish, the jacks and the ladyfish and the bluefish, which are more of a trash fish. But when those things start moving, when you start catching those, it's time, everything's happening. You can catch big trout early in the morning, topwater plugs, the redfish in the creeks, the redfish at the jetties, sheep's head are still around. This is absolutely prime time. Late March, April, May, Spanish mackerel on the beach. When the water gets to about 70 degrees, you'll be able to catch cobia, following the manta rays up the beach and close to shore. Kingfish will be on the local wrecks, and then out towards the ledge offshore, the dolphin run will start, which is mahi. Will start, any day. Probably, I'd say April 15th to May the 15th is the prime time. But we have great fishing out here where you'll catch what we call gaffer dolphin, which are over 10 pounds. And sometimes the guys will catch 30 or 40 of them a day.
Paul, you mentioned good eating before. Sheep's head is good eating as well. Very hard to beat. One of the most ugly looking fish I've ever seen in my entire life in terms, because they have it almost appears that they have real human teeth.
Yeah.
Is that one of the only fish that actually has that characteristic about them?
Well, those teeth like that's the only character. Only one like that. Wahoo have extremely sharp teeth. King mackerel have extremely sharp teeth.
Okay.
But sheep's head, black drum and sheep's head to me and flounder are the three that, redfish and trout are good too.
Sure.
But black drum, a 3 to 5 pound black drum or a nice sheep's head, it's hard to beat, or a flounder, it's hard to beat for inshore species. You know what underrated fish is a whiting as well, which you catch surf fishing.
Okay.
And also I mentioned Spanish mackerel on the beach. When I say on the beach, I meant near shore of the beach on a boat. You can still catch those off the pier. That's worth mentioning too. They've been smoking the fish on the Jacksonville Beach Pier. a lot of whiting and drum and speckled trout even and sheep's head, and they will catch. I think last year they caught 50 kingfish off that pier in the summertime. So keep an eye. They have some great sites out there on the social media channels, and they post every day. They have little pier tournaments once a month, I believe, and it's pretty cool.
Paul Dozier, man, let's go fishing. Appreciate you stopping by. The old school kingfish shootout starting up in June.
June 14th. Join us tonight in St. Augustine for the Wahoo Awards. Everybody's invited. We'll have a good time. And then we might even watch the Gators play.
Watch the Gators. How you feeling about them? You feeling all right?
I'll tell you, man. They made me nervous last weekend.
that was a nail biter towards the end there.
Yeah, I remembered why I usually am drinking during football games. There's 12 o'clock basketball games. It's a little inappropriate to drink. I needed one.
And what about for opening day? You excited about that, or you're not much of a baseball guy?
I like baseball. I respect baseball, but opening day. They screwed opening day up having it in Japan, in my opinion.
I hear you, man.
But hey, opening day is here.
There we go.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models, or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
2024 provided plenty of memorable moments for the Jacksonville Armada on the pitch, including another conference championship game appearance for Tommy Krasanovich's under-23 men's team.
Instant in the dying moments.
Debuting this year for the first time, the girls in blue, as the Armada fielded a women's under-23 side in the WPSL and made its presence known with some highlight moments.
Potential goal of the season.
Then attention turned to the future, with MLS Next teams representing the Armada badge in 3 age divisions this fall, including an under-19 squad ranking among the best in the state. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants.
We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter.
Save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter first coast on your team.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Is that a sneak peek of the picks? It's a sneak peek of the picks. It is time to go. Austin, don't get too comfortable looking at that.
That's fun. I just scratched my eye at the Cubs. We're good.
No problem. I knew you would.
Yeah.
If I could, I would have taken the day off. Just because.
Should have called in sick.
No, I can't do it. Couldn't do it. I appreciate y'all believing me for this whole week.
Yeah, you're all good, man.
Not. I'm glad to not be hugging toilet. And watching the entire Oregon or Arizona basketball game from the bathroom. It
was a rough one.
Never left the bathroom for the entirety of that basketball game.
Don't say like where you got it from if you ordered out, but like what made you what did you eat?
I think it was a bug. I don't think it was a specific.
It was okay.
Yeah. Because I wasn't the only one. But nonetheless, Austin, from tip to buzzer, I watched the entire game and did not leave because just. It had to happen. So I'm sorry that I wasn't with you Monday. I'm glad to be here right now because today's a national holiday. So I would like to present a little something that I wrote.
Please.
Feel free to snap along.
I got you, man.
I thought about bringing over slam poetry, but I wanted to keep it sacred for basketball. And when I say sacred, I mean I don't care anything about basketball, so I didn't want to contaminate it by mentioning it in the same breath as baseball. Here we go. The sun peeks over fields of green. A fresh breeze whispers crisp and keen. The crack of the bat, uniforms looking clean. It's opening day. The Dodgers signed everyone, even Freddie's sons. The White Sox are eliminated, though the season's not begun.
I got him.
How many rings do the Padres have? The answer is still none. It's opening day. The Royals rest their hopes on that man Bobby Witter. The Yankees can have beards now. Bet some guys are bitter. Only a few more years before Soto is an overpaid designated hitter. It's opening day.
Dang. I like it.
The Rays sold out their stadium. Oh, glorious day. Next year in Orlando, they'll be on their way. Their franchise is so bad, Manfred told them they couldn't play today. It's opening day. The Brewers did what they do and gave away all their good players. The Red Sox sat Devers Fat-A on the bench right next to Crochet. The Braves are back from the IL, and they'll dethrone L.A. It's opening day. Thank you. Thank you.
Dude, I don't want to interject too much because I was trying to let you just blow it. That was amazing. Listen, say what you want about sometimes we don't start on time, whatever. In terms of talent, I think Brent might be a little nervous because you got me making the Shock Your Mock theme song.
That's right.
You got you spitting bars.
Thank you.
Straight bars.
Yep.
Brent, what are you
bringing
doing
to the table?
What are you were writing checks? You're doing that. And that's probably the most important thing.
Hey,
but man, we got some talent on this team, Hamby. That was great.
Awesome.
That should be, honestly, when you were reading it, I pictured like it being like a children's book of like caricatures and everything of like what you like that was great.
All right, hey,
that was like
I'll take
Dr. Seuss stuff right there, man. That was good.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
that was 20. That was from 9:30 to 9:50 this morning.
So 20 minutes.
Yep.
Dang, first of all, my math is on point, but second of all,
that's good.
That's impressive.
Yeah. First of all, did you catch that on the Rays? 28 baseball teams are playing today. They are not. They will be hosting the Rockies tomorrow.
Yeah.
Am I going to continue to make fun of them and the ripple effects of the hurricane?
Probably.
That's a little wiggle.
Probably. That's a little wiggle. That's a little wiggle.
It's a little wiggle.
It's a little wiggle.
Yeah, I'm not sure if y'all got to it earlier this week, but they did release the graphic on social media saying that they had sold out their first game. You're playing in a spring training field. I would hope so.
Drake and Lamar better not come after Hamby. Couldn't handle it.
Look.
Well put, Kilkenny.
Appreciate you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Look, that's what we do.
I love it, man. Like, if Drake came after you, obviously he's got the beats and everything, and Hamby just comes out a cappella with a little spoken word. Oh, I would love it, man.
Here's the thing. Like, I have a lot more material on Drake than he's got on me. Nobody knows who I am. I'm not out there.
That's a good point. Well, I mean, you can just go back and listen. Listen, knowing more Kendrick. I feel like Drake kind of just phones it in. Knowing Kendrick, he'd go back and listen to like all our shows and then try to find things. Yeah. Doing his homework.
But then everybody who heard that would compare it to what you say. They were like, he couldn't even do better than Austen.
It's a good point.
All right. We got our picks. Brewers, they start off with who today?
Oh, man. Sorry, I was taking my smoothie. 3 o'clock. Check your local listings. ESPN taking on the Yankees.
Oh, ESPN.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Big time. Prime time. Well, not prime time, but, nationally televised time for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Who's on the bump?
Dude, I don't even know who's starting pitching today.
We got Freddie Peralta for the good guys against Carlos Rodon for the Yankees. Hey, Yanks, if you're trotting out Carlos Rodon opening day, I don't like your chances.
I was going to say, why?
Well, Garrett Cole's done.
Yeah.
By the way, drafted him second round in my fantasy draft.
Oh, that's on you.
3 weeks ago.
That's on you.
Nope, not on me. Fully healthy.
That sucks.
Drafted him like 14th overall. 2 days later, see ya.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, who was my first round pick? You might be asking. You might be wondering. Well, it was Mookie Betts, who's dropped 25 pounds in the last month and can't eat a meal.
Something's going on with Mookie, man.
Can't hold a meal.
Something's going on with Mookie. Maybe he had what you had. Just more
for a month.
Just worse for a month, yeah.
Who was my fifth pick? That might have been Rafael Devers. And as referenced in the poem, we showed you about a month ago when they asked him, hey, you going to play third base? He said, I play third base. That's quite literally the only English thing that he said in that whole interview. And the Red Sox says, we don't care. We're going to sit you on the bench anywhere. Bregman's got it.
Yep.
Is he going to be pouty? Is that going to affect his performance at the plate? Probably. So I've got a DH on my hands all season. Soto, take notes. All right.
Do you get points for defense? You don't, do you?
No.
No, you're good. I mean, pending that he's cool with it, which he's probably not. So, good luck
it's a
with
different vibe when you don't play the field.
Good luck with that one. So
a little bit of a learning curve.
So, Brent's got a meeting, but he did send us the picks, yeah?
Yes, I have his pick.
Okay, so we have Brent's pick. So, how we should do it, just go one, like we always do, one division by one division, and then just go from there?
Yeah, let's. All right, yeah, we'll go.
Start in the American League East
by division. We'll start with the American League East.
That's what you do.
I'll give you Brent's first.
Okay.
And this one is a phone.
Well, I think we know where this is going.
Brent is taking the Red Sox.
Of course he is.
They got Crochet on the bump. They got Bregman. They got Aroldis Chapman. So they finally spent some money, and. Now, obviously, with the Yankees losing Garrett Cole, their odds increased. They were, I believe, either the first or second biggest movers, second, I believe, as far as odds to win the division and win the World Series from the end of last season to the start of this one. So, still not the favorites by the odds to win the division, but they're up there. Brent says Red Sox. I will be taking the Orioles again. I took them last year. I knew they was, the storyline was, are they a little too early? They're incredibly young. They lost their ace, Corbin Burns. They were unable to keep him. He goes to the Diamondbacks, yet they're still a year more experienced. Their bats are crazy, best in the American League. As far as I'm concerned, I put them right up there with the Rangers. They are starting Zach Eflin as their opening day guy. You might not know who that is.
Efron? No. I know.
Eflin.
He's a good actor. Oh, Eflin. Gotcha.
Local from Orlando, by the way.
Okay.
Know quite a few people who are familiar with him. But he's going to get the job done. He's going to give you five innings of 4-hit, 2-run ball, and you're going to outscore them, and we'll be all right. Their bullpen's back. Give me the Orioles. And who you got, Austen?
Dude, so you literally took a lot of words from my mouth. I'm actually going with the Orioles. I think like last year they had all the hype, but they're a little too young, I feel like, to make that a big run in the postseason. I think they have another year of experience. They do lose Corbin Burns, but you know how I feel about Corbin Burns anyways. See ya. Brewers.
Right.
So yeah, go ahead and give me the Orioles too.
All right.
Yes.
It feels good that not a single one of us has the Yankees.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment that we could claim on the show.
For sure.
AL Central. Brent's got the Twins, led by their starting rotation.
The Fighting Rocco Baldellis, right? Yep.
I will be taking the Royals, led by Bobby Witt and Reagans.
Yep.
That division is wide open as they come. A lot of people like the Twins. A lot of people like the Guardians always seem to make a run.
Tigers.
Even the Tigers are the team that kind of is like the sleeper team that everybody's picking to win the division.
Yeah, so
you really can't go wrong unless you take the team that's already been eliminated from the playoffs.
The White Sox.
God
bless you if you do that. I wonder what the Vegas odds of them are winning the division. But when we talk about this division, you can go a lot of different ways. I was between the Royals and the Tigers.
125-1 Austin. For the White Sox.
Yeah, okay. That sounds about right. When it comes to the Tigers, though, man, I have to roll with them simply because they're the hottest team last year to finish off the season. And you got to ask, okay, was that just more luck or was it actually skill? I think it's more skill. I think they continue the hot streak going into the new season. They have new life. They have new confidence. So go ahead and give me the Tigers to win the division.
All right. So we all have different ones in the AL Central. Now moving on to the AL West. Brent has the Rangers with Jacob deGrom back. They got the young pitching staff with Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker. I think they have the best bats right there with the Orioles in the American League. I am taking them as well. So I have the Rangers winning the AL West. The Astros are still the odds-on favorites, even though they've lost everybody from their World Series teams, yet they still have really good young starting pitching. Altuve is in left field now, and they got Josh Hader to nail things down. I'm not a believer that you can lose that many guys and still be there right at the top. I love Dusty Baker, but I'm going with the Rangers.
Dang it, Hamby. Yeah, I'm picking the Rangers as well. Yeah, I was...
Well, go ahead and pencil in the Mariners.
Right. I think when it comes to the Astros, every single year you think, okay, this is the year that they're finally not going to be able to accomplish it. They're not spending money like they used. They lost a lot of people. Listen, if the Astros do it this year and I get the favorites maybe, then I tip my hat to the Astros. After all they've been through, after all they lost, they still found a way, then more power to you. I think the reign might be done. Finally, we can move on with our lives and go ahead and give me the Rangers.
All right, we'll roll through the wild card real quick. Brent has the Orioles. He has the Guardians, and he has the Angels making their first playoff berth in I don't know how long.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I should know, but it's a sleepy pick, and I kind of like it because the Angels are now Braves West. Every single player that the Braves have moved on from has gone there, including their former third base coach, Ron Washington, is their manager. They got EY. They got Darno. We just gave them Ian Anderson. There's more. So Mike Trout's back fully healthy. He'll be in right field. Oh, they have Jorge Soler. Maybe do they ever get Anthony Rendon back, or is he going to get $400 million playing 0 baseball games? We'll see. But Brent has them winning the last wild card spot. I got the Yankees. Too much power and too much money to not solve the Garrett Cole issue, at least enough to make a wild card spot. I have the Mariners, who I'm in love with this year. Just couldn't give them the nod to win the division. The best starting staff as far as young guys, as guys that could be potential all-stars, I believe, in the major leagues. And then I've got the Red Sox.
I'm taking the Red Sox. I am taking, it's written out, the Red Sox, the Royals, and then go ahead and give me, do I take Seattle? Do I risk it for the biscuit here? Yeah, man, let's have some fun. Give me the Seattle Mariners.
All right. So that's the American League.
Yep.
Moving right over to the National League in the East. Brent has the Mets.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got the Mets. He's got the Soto Shufflers, the Metropolitans. I'm not going to sugarcoat this one at all. I have the Braves.
We know.
We have an all-star team that we're not that we're going to have back. Strider will be back relatively soon. Acuna will be back relatively soon. We've got plenty of firepower to get by without them. We should win the division without them, in my opinion. And I'll go ahead and spoil it right here. The Mets are not going to make the playoffs. Not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Show me that starting rotation, unless Soto is going to go up there with his $700 million and fill it up for 7 innings every 5th day. I don't see it. I got the Braves winning it, and you can guess who I've got winning it all, but I'll save that for a second.
I mean, obviously, I think the rotation-wise might be Phillies in terms of better in the division and a little more healthy than the Braves. And I think the Philly bump right now in the sports world. So go and give me the Phillies winning the division.
Paid off for you last year, didn't it?
It did.
All right. Central. Brent's got the Reds.
Just to piss me off,
Just to piss you off.
Just to piss me off.
The Ellie De La Cruzes.
The guy can't resist every single year.
He doesn't.
What do I say? Every single year. But we go back to it. Let him get bit again. I don't care. I try to help him out, Hamby. I try to do him a favor, and he keeps on going back to the well. All right, man. Well, the well's running dry, but have fun with those Reds.
Yep, and I'm going to go back to the well again and take the Cubs. I like their starting rotation a lot.
I bet you do.
And we'll go ahead and pencil you in for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, this one's going to be for Bob Uecker this year, everybody. So go ahead and give me the Brewers.
All right, we can pretty much skip the NL West. We're all taking the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
sorry, Padres. But yeah, I'm taking the Dodgers.
All right, wild card. Brent has the Padres, has the Braves, and has the Phillies. I've got the Diamondbacks. I think they're going to be the riser. I like Corbin Burns there. They lose Christian Walker, but I think they have Corbin Carroll cannot play as bad as he did in the sophomore slump as he did last year. They went to the World Series a year and a half ago for a reason. They have a lot of those players still on the roster. I got the Diamondbacks. I have the Phillies, and I have the Padres squeaking it out over the Mets in the last day or two.
I'm changing up my list then.
Uh-oh.
I had the Padres and the Diamondbacks as well. But for the sake of that, not picking the Cubs, forget you guys. All right, so then go ahead and give me this then. Go ahead and give me the Braves. Go ahead and give me the Cardinals.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's give me my surprise of the year. And then go ahead and give me the Padres.
All right, you got it.
I'm not taking the Cubs, sorry.
All right, World Series picks. Gosh, this is okay. So I have zero room to talk. Okay, because my Super Bowl pick doesn't even be mentioned. I kind of got cornered because nobody had ever mentioned the Jags. I felt like I should just throw the dart into the St. John's River and try to nail a little bass. I took the Packers over the Jags. Okay. Well, Brent wasn't much better because I believe he took the Jets, and who did he take in
Cowboys.
Okay.
Never forget.
Okay, so that's worse.
Never forget.
Well, maybe not, but it's worse. I'm going to say it's worse. I think this MLB pick is on par. He has the Mets over the Red Sox.
What's with this Mets business?
He wants to piss me off.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. I mean, they did go on a nice little run last year. I get it, but okay.
No Met.
Yeah.
They will Met. I got the Braves getting back to the top of the hill, beating the Dodgers in the NLCS. And by the way, the Braves are America's team. They have been America's team, and they will be in 2025 America's team now more than they ever even have ever in Major League Baseball history.
That's cute.
Because everyone will be rooting for someone to beat the Dodgers, and the Braves will do it.
See, I like this because now, like, we're not putting emotion aside. We're not being logical. We're just saying, yeah, our teams. Like, I mean, Brent's, Red Sox could be good. Your Braves could obviously be good. My Brewers, we'll see. But with that being said, this is me to the MLB ratings during the World Series. It's going to be the Orioles taking on your Milwaukee Brewers and doing it for Bob Uecker. Ratings at an all-time low. Doesn't matter. I want to watch my Brewers win. So, yeah, go ahead and give me the Orioles and the Milwaukee Brew Crew in the World Series.
Wow.
Going to do it for Bob this year.
I love it.
Going to do it for Bob.
I love it.
Like, listen, if we think, like, baseball, it's the beautiful game, right? How can you not be passionate about baseball? Then how can you not try to win a World Series for Bob Uecker?
All right, we deserve a soul clap as a show. Let's give them 3.
Sorry, I thought
we'll work on that. That was a first timer. That was a first timer.
I thought you said a slow. I was just making one.
A soul clap. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. For 2 reasons.
My bad.
Nobody has the Yankees winning the division, and nobody has the Dodgers even in the World Series.
Yep. And one person had the Reds winning the division, but whatever.
It is decided.
It is decided.
MVPs.
Yeah. Who you got?
We got MVPs and Cy Youngs. MVPs. Brent has Mike Trout making a resurgence.
Who's that?
Playing 155 games this year.
What are the odds of Mike Trout actually making it through the season?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's going for the cute pick there. And he's got Soto in the National League. So he's just call yourself a Mets fan. Just freaking, him and Hicken are going to be taking freaking joy rides. Might as well go on a buddy trip up to New York with each other and just take a couple Action Sports Jacks prime times off come fall. And, that's pretty pathetic. I've got Gunnar Henderson winning in the AL.
My guy!
Big fan of that guy.
Well, yeah.
And I've got Austin Riley in the National League with 45 pumps and about 120 ribbies.
Yeah, man. So I have Gunnar as well. Because if I have the Orioles going to the World Series, then guess what?
Yeah.
He's probably going to have a pretty good season.
Right.
So I had him. And then for my National League,
Jackson Chourio.
I'm thinking about that. No, man, go ahead and give me a little more outside it's not outside the box, but I think he has a resurgence. Dude, when he's healthy, the guy can't miss. Christian Yelich.
Oh, my God.
Let's go. Homering all the way.
We are homering so
doing this
bad.
for Bob. We're doing this for Bob this year, everybody.
All right. Cy Young, last thing MLB-wise. Brent has Garrett Crochet, which is, although that is a homer pick, that is one of the favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going full square and picking Paul Skeens in the National League. I am taking Cole Reagans in the American League, representing the Royals, and he'll be a big part of the reason why they win the division. And I've got Chris Sale winning back-to-back.
Dang.
For the Braves. What say you?
Go ahead and give me DeGrom, obviously, in the American League. And then National League, like, I'm sure I don't even know what the odds are. I haven't seen him or anything, but like I've watched more of this guy pitch that's outside the Milwaukee Brewers than anybody. And yeah, I want to take like Freddie Peralta, but I think it's going to be in more of a totality of the Brewers and actually just one pitching stud. So go ahead and give me the biggest pitching stud I feel like right now in Paul Skeens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you're allowed to have that one.
Is he the favorite? He's got to be the favorite, right?
He's the favorite.
Yeah, he's got to be.
He's the favorite.
It's chalk. It's chalk.
It's fine. You got to have a little.
Yeah.
Except for me. Don't have any. Don't have any, which probably means I'll be exposed more than when I took the Packers and the Jags in the Super Bowl.
Can't wait. Can't wait to make a song about it next year for Shock Your Mock.
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know if this one can be beaten. But here you go. It's time, guys.
Cubs. I mean, listen, the Cubs got to do this year, right?
Sit back, enjoy an ale, enjoy a cola, get your sunflower seeds and chew them inside in the living room. Let's have a day. We'll be right back on the Brent and Austen Show.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
For the game day hustle and every day in between, juggling my show Jag Social to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, you can take 10% off any water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Action Sports Jacks is the biggest brand in Jacksonville, and we're excited to add another partnership for this team's biggest season yet. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is now the official streaming network of the Jacksonville Sharks for their 15th season.
The Jacksonville Sharks are your champions.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Daniel Griffiths writes about it. We talk about it. This is your Paint to Play presented by That One Painter First Coast. Talking Anthony Campanile and what the defense is going to look like in 2025. The first point of the article, Austin, and it's very true, we know a lot more about the Jaguars' offense and their identity than we do the defense. Part of that personnel, there is more personnel returning, the key guys, you would imagine, but also simply because of the fact of we've heard Liam Cohen talk a lot more than we have Campanile.
Yeah, and I've always gotten the vibe too that defenses tend to change depending on their personnel. I think offenses always try to stay within the same blueprint despite personnel. Right? Like, yeah, obviously, depending on the quarterback, if he's a dual threat guy, it's going to change. But, like, we have a good idea of what Liam Cohen's going to do here because of the systems that he comes from. Right? Like, you can take Sean McVay and kind of look at, okay, like, he's going to try to do some of that. With Campanile. With Campanile, it's more of, I think, what do we have at our disposal? But if you go look at some of the track record of where he comes from, you can maybe get a good idea of what he's going to try to do. And also, some of the free agent signings as well may point you in the right direction.
All right, so let's get into it. So where does Anthony Campanile come from? He comes from the Vic Fangio, obviously now the Super Bowl reigning defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles, also the Jeff Hafley tree. He's the former the run game coordinator and linebackers coach with the Green Bay Packers. And Austin, contrary to Jacksonville, this is from, again, Daniel Griffith's article. You can find it on actionsportsjax.com. He says, contrary to Jacksonville, the Packers ran a very zone-heavy scheme at around 78% of the time. Extremely zone-heavy.
Yeah.
That was second most in the NFL. The Jaguars, on the other hand, ranked 30th in their use of zone coverage.
Going man. Yeah.
That's a huge contrast. That's 78% versus 54%. Obviously, Nielsen wanted to run more man. We were, I think, us and the fan base in general was weary of that even before, when we first heard that, because it was like, is Tyson Campbell more of a zone or man kind of corner? We'd seen him have a lot of success in zone. How would he fit? Did we have the guys for that? It didn't end up working. That's not just because that was for a lot of different reasons, not just because we ran a lot of man. But nonetheless, Campanile, zone heavy. Obviously, again, got to always point this out. He was not the defensive coordinator.
Correct.
He was the run game coordinator and the linebackers coach, but still, I'm sure, had heavy influence. Thoughts on the percentages here?
Yeah, I mean, listen, so you highlight that low blitz rate, right? Well, Green Bay was 31st in the league in blitzing. Jacksonville was dead last, which is, I mean, I guess that kind of makes some sense, but that's a little surprising to me. If that is the case, and ironically, like Green Bay, like in terms of like, I'm not sure what their sack numbers were per se, but I know that they underachieved and fans weren't happy with what they got out of production in terms of their front four. So if that's the case, and we're taking these numbers into consideration, and you're not going to be planning on blitzing a lot, it's going to be a lot of zone coverages where you need more guys in the back end to confuse offenses as opposed to blitzing and getting home, then in my opinion, interior defensive line's got to be a top priority.
Right.
Because you have the bookends, but do you have the interior pressure to just bring 4?
Right. And it's not only that they only bring 4, as the next bullet point points out from Fangio. This is Fangio and the Eagles. They had the lightest boxes in the NFL last year. So not only were they not sending pressure, they also weren't shooting gaps with their linebackers as much because they were leaving those 2 guys out there. They were running 6 guys in the back in the secondary at times, 5 guys. Most often, I'm sure. But there was no overloading the box with 7 and 8 guys and trusting the secondary to hold up on the back end. It was the other way around. We'll trust our defensive line and our 2 backers to do their jobs, to get home, to stuff the run, those 6 as a unit, and then we'll play strong and confusing style on the back end.
And I'm sorry, I think I might have missed this. So is Campanile, is he from Vic Fangio's system?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so listen, the Eagles obviously had one of the best defenses this year, and they did a lot of it with just rushing 4. And that's what, number one, interior to the outside can do for you, where if you have 4 guys that can get after the quarterback, that allows you to do so much more things in the back end where, you're going to confuse with zone coverages. You're going to show it's going to be man, then drop back into zone. Like, that's what the Eagles do. Now, not every team can do that, right? Because a lot of teams can't just rush 4. You got to blitz. You got to do that. And if you start blitzing, then that's going to hurt the coverage in the back. So I think this just goes to show you with Fangio what he brought with the Eagles, where if you can rush 4 and get away with it, more power to you.
Yeah, and Daniel Kilkenny just said in the chat, he said, my draft is looking better after this article. Good timing, first of all, and that's because Kilkenny put the priority on, I believe it was Walter Nolan that he had in the second round at pick 40 on the defensive line. And that's, again, that's Daniel Griffiths' point, is that you look at the way that Fangio is drafted, right? And this is obvious. I mean, the guy didn't blitz a single time in the Super Bowl, and they got to Mahomes time in and time out every drop back, right? You got to rely on that. That has to be the priority. Will that be? Is that the philosophy? That's just the first question. Is just because Fangio, that's his philosophy, doesn't automatically mean that it carries over to Campanile, right?
Yeah.
Those are the hints that we have, right? But we'll see. So that's question 1. Will it carry over? Does he still have that same mindset, same philosophy, same game plan? And number 2, do the Jags already believe they have those guys and Campanile and company can draw it out of them? Or is that going to be the biggest focus of the 2025 draft?
Well, and listen, when we talk about the draft, it's what do we know and what are we for certain on, and what can we kind of go back and forth and say, we'll see. And when it comes to the Jaguars offense and their wide receiving core, is it top 10 right now on paper? Absolutely not. Right? But here's what we know. We know you got a guy in Brian Thomas Jr. who's a stud. Mm-hmm. As opposed to Gabe Davis and who else they brought in, it's kind of like, okay, you have to prove it to us. But on the other side of the ball, in terms of interior defensive line, do we know that, can they get home with 4 right now? I'm sitting here and saying, no, you cannot. Now, maybe Eric Armstead has a resurgence, playing 3 technique and all this stuff, but the way that it sits right now, I can unequivocally say, you know what, I am not confident with the front 4, especially interior-wise, of getting home. And that's kind of been one of the main caveats why I've always leaned more towards, Mason Graham more than a wide receiver, just because I think in terms of need right now, in terms of what you're going to try to do on defense, and Dan Griffiths did a great job of breaking it down for us, right? It's there in the analytics, and sometimes I get a little bogged down by analytics, but these are great, simply because you know what you're trying to do. You're trying to rush 4 and confuse offenses in the back end with zone coverages. That's what it is. Do you have the horses up front to do that right now? Not interior-wise. So, I think this just kind of reaffirms and re-solidifies that, maybe Travis Hunter would be the sexy pick and everything, but does Mason Graham bring you the most value in what you're trying to do and turn things around?
You can get that one painter first coast to paint your house or a variety of projects you don't want to handle. Let the professionals do it. Visit thatonepainter.com/first-coast or call 904-643-3025. Let them paint for you. They are the best house guests ever. Austin, we've got our picks. It's opening day.
Happy opening day, everybody.
And we got Gators basketball. 6:39 tip tonight. Oddly specific.
I'm not mad at that.
We'll see.
I mean, it's going to be 7 o'clock because they always seem to delay it a little bit. But
right,
yeah, go ahead.
4 games today. With less than a minute to go, Gators, Terrapins, take us home. Who you got?
Oh, dude, I got the Gators winning the whole thing, and God, does my Final Four need some help. So, Florida, please pull this off. What do you got?
I have in my bracket the Terrapins. I will be preying on the Florida downfall at 6:39.
Oh, wow, going against your own in the SEC, Hammy. There you go. That's the spirit.
I ain't rooting for Florida over my nothing.
Hey, I think it's just me and you tomorrow, Hamby. Sounds good?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Let's make sure. Well, hey, if we want to start an hour late tomorrow like we did kind of today, I won't be opposed to it. But if not, we'll have Shock Your Mock tomorrow. We'll have a bunch of more things in the sporting world. We'll talk to Florida Gators, obviously. We'll see how they do, and we'll usher you in to a great weekend. For Brent Martineau, for Jason Hamby, I'm Austen Lane. Stay safe, stay casual. We'll check you out tomorrow. Peace.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3, don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
For the game day hustle and every day in between, juggling my show Jag Social to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game. But with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, you can take 10% off any water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Action Sports Jacks is the biggest brand in Jacksonville, and we're excited to add another partnership for this team's biggest season yet.
Action Sports Jax 24/7 is now the official streaming network of the Jacksonville Sharks for their 15th season.
The Jacksonville Sharks are your champions.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to String Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to String Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports.